Welcome to the Bastard Sermon.
Welcome to the Bastard Sermon. This is one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker, and the other two aren't on mic right now, doing that thing where we do the intros before the show to make it sound better for you listeners. Today we had on Sean Moore, one of my close friends, and we talked about all kinds of crazy, weird shit like we always do. There is a giant spoiler alert for the show. We talk about the Avengers Infinity War towards the end, closer to the, I would say, like 50-minute mark or something. We give you a big giant spoiler warning and time to fucking turn the episode off and not listen. So if you're afraid that it's going to be spoiled for you, we don't say anything until after that spoiler alert. So that's on the episode. We talk about taking a shit on the side of the highway, eating disgusting food, general poop talk, all kinds of fun stuff. It was a great fucking episode. Check us out everywhere at The Bastard Sermon on Instagram, Facebook. If you want to check out the Twitter, there's fucking nothing there, but you can follow us at Bastard Sermon. We're on Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, PLAYERFM, Rockstar Glue 3.0. You can find us fucking everywhere and listen to us everywhere. The Lipson website, everything. All right, enjoy the episode, fuckers. Welcome to another episode of The Bastard Sermon. This is one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker,
Patrick Seta,
Luke Young.
and today we have on our buddy Sean Moore. He's been on an episode with Carmen Belperio before. Sean, say what's up.
Hey.
What's up, you fucks? All right, we're going to start immediately with some shit that we did on the Shit Talking Cunts Swapcast. Check that shit out on YouTube. We're not going to put it on the RSS feed because the audio is really, really fucking bad. So it's a good episode. Check it out if you want to see us, but we're going to play some shit from that. A little bit of crossover. Are you having a mic issue, Sean? Here, he's going to fix it for you.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So, Sean, do you like music?
A little bit, here and there. I listen to a lot of...
The classics?
Yeah, the classics.
I got a classic for you. This is an instant classic. Someone sent this.
Did he just say an instinct classic?
Instant classic?
You said instinct classic.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I meant to say instant.
Roll the tape
It's
back.
instinctively a classic.
Instinctive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you saved him.
It was in the middle there. Yeah, whatever. All right, here we go.
Women all around the country will get abducted. They sell for $90 on the black market.
90.
I don't want to be
She's
one
really
of
got her
these women.
figures down.
I want to be free.
You want to be free.
This is my story.
What's her story?
About her life.
I'm a girl, but really am I? I don't know. You fucking broke me. I don't know who I am anymore. Feed me drugs, make me fucking sore.
What are you thinking so far?
I know a lot of people that would be really into that.
It's fucking great, right?
No.
Right. It's amazing. I think about this in my sleep sometimes.
I think about every time that I've taken like psychedelic drugs out at a festival or something like that. Like every time that you're out and there's a fucking shitty drum circle on and everybody else is like fucked up out of their mind and they think that they're the deepest person ever, or they're the smartest person ever and the most musically talented, and they just start banging, making the shittiest fucking music of all time, but they think they're being like really, really like on top of the world or something.
She's like the girl that brings the guitar to the party, you know?
Yeah.
How many craft beer stickers do you think are on her ukulele right now?
Craft beer stickers. It's like I imagine her ukulele is like the future is feminine, I hate men, fuck the patriarchy, and she's got like fuck drugs but like weed stickers everywhere because she's a fucking moron.
Yeah, I want to delve deep into like our opinions of this person.
Lots of tie-dye shirts.
But let's continue because it just gets better and better. It's so catchy, dude.
I can't walk. I can't talk. I can't wear makeup when I go out with my friends. I can't hang out with the guys because that's only for men. I can't do what I want to.
I feel like she's just like making the lyrics up as she goes. And,
Remember
like,
when
she
you
did
were
not plan this
5 and
out.
thought you
I'm
were
not
a
getting that.
musician?
You think she wrote this before?
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, of course she came up with it on the spot. It's fucking garbage.
God.
She switches up the fucking, metronome of the song 4 times.
Yeah, she like slows down when she's like about to say a word.
I can't be who I want to be. I can't do what I want to, but
Her voice is grinding my fucking eardrums
it's
down.
horrible.
Like it literally, like every note that she hits, I'm doing air quotes. Is
For
just,
some reason, I feel like she's still hot, though. Is she hot? What's she look like?
I can if you remind me after the podcast, I'll give you her name. But I'm
is
not
she
going to
a
give her name on
Cincinnati
this.
6.
Oh, she's local?
She is a local person.
Oh, it's a local artist.
Like
shout
someone in
out.
my band.
So we should
local
promote this
music.
local artist.
Yeah,
Pat. Why don't we
let
want to shout
everyone
them
know
out?
who it is.
Support your local music.
Well, my friend from my band sent me this.
Support your local methadone clinic. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So he messaged me and said that this girl just randomly messaged him and said, "Here's the first song off my EP. What do you think?" Only sent it to him. Didn't send it to anyone else. So she's a crazy person. But I don't.
So we have insider.
I know her
music
name.
right
She
now.
says her name in this song, but I'm gonna cut it off before then just to save her identity from other people. But I'll tell you after the podcast. Here's some more of this instant classic.
You didn't tell her.
Because
I'm sorry. You could say what she looks like though without mentioning her name, right?
I don't think she's
Is
that
she hot?
attractive.
Yes or no?
I don't
No.
think so.
So that's a definite no. He's trying to be
personally,
nice
no.
while he's on the internet.
I'm trying to be nice
All right.
because I'm already like going at her, you know. Like, all right, here.
man with a penis says I can't.
That's you, Sean.
I can't walk down the street at
That does
night.
apply to me.
I can't. I
Can't.
can't.
I can't.
I can't. I can't wear hoodies without bras.
I'm sorry, boys. I have to leave. I have to go oppress women. I'll see you. It's been a good.
It's fucking crazy.
I
dude.
forgot it's 8:00. It's oppress women hour for me. You guys got my next shift though, right?
Yeah, I got you, dude. We're
As
coming
you
men
gotta
in.
with-
go tell them that they can't wear hoodies without bras.
Yeah, as men with penises, such as we all are, I assume that. What is she fucking talking about? Is
I
the
don't
point that I'm
know.
making.
Who
I'm
pissed
sorry,
her off?
Keep it going.
Who pissed her off, dude? All right.
Who fucking invented that fucking death machine? I just
Probably
wanted
that
to be
guy.
myself, but no one's letting me. Everyone's on coke or they're on ecstasy. I want to be my fucking self.
Yeah. Here we go.
I don't need no fucking drugs. I just want to smoke weed.
What?
And
I
some-
think this is
She's
the-
done more than
the
smoke
hook.
weed, right?
Did you hear though? I don't need no fucking drugs. I just want to smoke weed. Like, hold on a second, crazy person. First off, you need psychiatric medication and you need fucking professional therapy and help. But second, weed's a drug. I love smoking pot, but it's a drug. It's 100% a
goddamn
drug.
fact.
Shut the fuck up about weed's
It
not
sounds
a
like
drug,
she's
you
done a
hippie bitch.
lot of drugs, to be honest, in order to be coming up with this shit and say, "Hey, it was my first time on my EP. I'm making it up on the spot."
Hold on, for you to be in that kind of scene and to own a uke and to be ballsy enough to make a song with that ukulele, I think that just goes without saying.
Yeah, it's just what the fuck. All right.
Six, yo. I just want to be me.
It's my favorite part.
Let's go skating, dog. I just want to be me. 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 I just want to be myself.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's the last bit of it, but it's just like, what the fuck,
I
dude?
think she pig squealed on accident.
Do you think like she was like one of those burp talk things? Like she just burped? Yeah, like what the fuck, man? Yeah.
So you pretty much answered your own question. If you accidentally pig squeal while you're talking, I mean, what do you look like?
So what do you think she does look like?
I don't know. Now I'm
Like, if you had to
picturing her
guess-
like barefoot sitting on the corner of a bed, but like the bed's not nice looking.
There's
It's
no
like
sheet.
really
Neither is the
messy.
room
There's
that
no
she's
sheet.
in.
She
It's
probably
one
got
of
a dirty ass mirror and then a bunch of her clothes are all over the
She
ground. What were you
probably
saying?
has just a couple dreads.
It's one of those thick comforter mattresses. And all of her dreads are by accident. They're just like she hasn't washed her
She
hair in a
didn't do
long
it.
time. It's
No,
just
they were
clumped together hair.
deliberate because she's trying so hard.
She probably got like that henna tattoo that she put on her hand, permanently tattooed on her hand. You know,
There's a
making
missing
jewelry.
string on that ukulele.
It's some what the fuck? Who comes up with this shit? Who wakes up in the morning and says, "You know what? I'm gonna write this song and send it to a bunch of dudes or
I
just
hope
one
she
dude."
didn't write it. If she wrote that and she's not freestyling,
She definitely seems like the kind of person that gets triggered, hardcore triggered. You know.
We had a buddy, me and Sean had a buddy, and Luke. I don't know if you ever got to meet him, but he would make the worst fucking music that I've ever listened to in my entire life.
Shut
and
up.
you know who I'm talking about.
Does he have
And-
anything online?
Do I?
No, he's no longer with us. He's a good friend, but oh man, he would fucking.
we openly would tell him, like, you cannot sing.
I told him to his face because I had to live with him for a little while, and it would drive me psychotic because like I'd be trying to sleep, it'd be 6 in the morning, and he's wired on like 10 hits of acid and drank a whole bottle of fucking vodka, and he'd just be like spinning around in the living room / room that I was sleeping in, and fucking like doing ballerina twirls and screaming at the top of his lungs, and I'd be like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to sleep, this is so fucking annoying, god damn, you suck at singing. Like, because you never are more upset than like not being able to sleep for a month straight for more than 4 hours at a time, and then fucking like your dude's over here banging on bongo drums, and he just bought a new synth and he doesn't know how to play it or care to learn. And then when I broke his balls about how I didn't like how he did music and thought that he should practice more on one thing and diversify, he was like, every time I would play guitar, he'd be like, it's out of rhythm, it's out of tune, everything sucks. And fuck, he would just get
The
so
sun was in my
about
eyes.
it.
The sun's in my eyes. You
And
know.
I don't know. So
I
whenever
wish I knew exactly who you were talking
I can't
about.
say, but
I feel like I even know who this is.
well,
Not like I've never met him, but
Right.
you've told me stories about the guy.
He's a great dude. I love him like a brother, but like he isn't here to defend himself, so I'm not gonna go shout him out like that. And on top of that, I'm sorry, the whole thing to bring it full circle. When I was hearing that fucking song, that's all I could think of is those sleepless nights living there, like this dude like tripping his balls off and fucking keeping me awake.
My
And
God.
so, what happens when you take like 10 hits of acid? Are you up for like
Dude,
three days or some
he
shit?
Would, he
I don't
would
know.
tell me what he was seeing. Like
Like
one time he was telling me he just started like freaking out and saying, I gotta bust out 200 push-ups right now. And I was like, okay.
What the
and
fuck?
he just did it. And he's like screaming and grunting and sweating profusely. And he was looking up and his eyes were just black circles.
What
And
the fuck?
he'd be like, there's fucking lightning. Fucking lightning. I was like, what the fuck are you talking
That's
about?
after he said all
lightning
that?
shooting out of my fingertips. Look, every time I go up and down, there's lightning bolts. I was like, all right, dude. He's like, you don't understand. You don't fucking see it. Like, no.
Damn.
There was one time when there was a fucking huge thunderstorm. It was the first one of summer, and I just started living there, and it's like rumbling his whole fucking house. I'm terrified because the power's going in and out. There's fucking tornado sirens, and tornadoes terrify me, and I'm like, oh fuck, this sucks, panic attack. And then like he's like, dude, I gotta go outside right now. And then he grabs his sleeping bag and a pillow and runs out into the rain. I was like, what the fuck, where are you going? And then he unravels there's fucking like little trees flying past him and shit, and just whoosh, whoosh, like fucking full-blown fucking giant storm. He unravels a sleeping bag in his backyard and then lays down with a pillow and camps in it. And I'm thinking, like, this dude will be back in 5 minutes. I waited until 3 in the morning. It was probably midnight. Waited until 3 in the morning, passed out, woke up, and then got myself coffee and realized he was still sleeping out there, like, drenched in fucking rain. And I was like, did you sleep out in the thunderstorm all night? He was like, yeah, dude, it was fucking crazy. I barely got any sleep. And I was like, oh, I bet it was. Like,
my
what
God.
the fuck, my dude?
Brilliant.
I fucking love you.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't have said his name, but it's okay.
You
I
did.
didn't.
I don't think I did.
That's
You
okay.
did.
Well,
Okay, it's okay. I'll edit it out.
We'll edit that shit
Or I
out.
probably won't, because fuck it, whatever.
Rest in peace, bro.
Love you, man.
Yeah. I
Anyways.
never met him, but love you too.
All right, moving on.
Anyway, so have you ever, Sean, had to take a shit while you're in the car and you just had to hold it? What's the longest you've had to hold a shit while you're taking a vacation or
shit?
something? Yeah, the longest you've had to sit in the car
I
and
don't
wait.
even fucking know, dude.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because I found this video online that we talked about in the STC podcast that I'd just like to show you because it cracks me the fuck up.
I drive in, I'm already, turn that off, that's too much.
It's this old grandma smoking a
Well,
She
you gotta
just
shit,
lit a
you gotta
cigarette when the video
shit.
starts.
You hear me? God
So basically, she's in the car right now, and she is shit so bad that she turns off the radio and she's smoking cigarettes. And I guess she's lactose intolerant, so she must have had like some milk or something. But keep listening.
It's really not funny. Go, I got the shit now. I'm finna shit on myself. Oh. I would never drink chocolate milk again. Ever in my life.
Oh,
So-
Lord.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord!
Never drink chocolate
God.
milk again in my life.
She must be clenching the Hershey squirt, bro. You know, fuck.
On them people's job. Everybody calling my name. I'm squeezing my ass tight as I can goddamn get it. And I'm about to shit on myself trying to. Eyes burning. I don't even know what the fuck. Please.
She's like, she's saying like, please, like she's begging, like she's praying to the Lord. Praying to the Lord,
The
please.
Lord.
I will go to church this Sunday. Just don't
Lord
let me
Jesus.
shit myself. Lord Jesus.
Any other time these motherfuckers speed and I can't even get to a decent place to shit at. God damn, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I called it. I said it before she did.
Dude, I've been there before. You ever been on the side of the highway in gridlock traffic? Like, oh, please, God, that I don't believe in. Don't let me take a shit on the side of the highway right now.
I gotta say,
See, I haven't had
God.
that yet. I've had to piss in the car, but like I always got like bottles laying around in my passenger
Yeah,
seat
you can't
or
spray
something.
diarrhea into a bottle uniformly.
would you try? Would you try?
while driving? What do you
If
do?
it was a
Drive with your-
Powerade bottle, it might work. But I don't think you could do that in like a bottle of Coke or
you like-
especially a can of Coke.
Would
Definitely not.
Would the technique be like putting the bottle up your butt or just gently against the anus?
See, that's why I'm saying a Powerade bottle, because I think if you use the smaller
Yeah,
one,
get
it'd
some
probably
spray.
have to go up your ass.
It's gonna be some serious debris action going
Yeah.
on there. I don't think I've ever been stuck in traffic, like dead stop traffic, and having to shit. But it sounds like a damn nightmare. Imagine sitting in a hot summer car when it's just bumper to bumper traffic.
You just
and
ate-
you have yeah.
You just ate 10 8-pound chickens.
What's worse, imagine sitting in a hot car with no AC and your hot shit.
Oh yeah, you shit your pants and you're just marinating in it, and then you're fucking, and then your window breaks. Like you can't even
What are
roll
you
your
gonna
window
do?
down.
You gonna bare ass walk across the highway to the side of the road and rub your ass against the grass?
And then your heat kicks on the 90 and you can't turn it off for some reason.
It's one of those cars that you know, like
you drive
Patrick
naked
man to
and
man.
wipe it up with your pants.
You're starting to actually cook your asshole in your own diarrhea water. Like it's starting to bubble and simmer underneath you.
it's just like boiling in the hot sun on your hot car seat. So there was this kid I knew that his car is like it would overheat a lot, so he'd always have to have the fans blowing on the fullest blast that they could, so the car wouldn't overheat. So I'm picturing when you're stuck in traffic and you have to shit this bad, you have like that broken window and you have broken AC and just that hot air just blowing on you.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, the reason you don't have hot fucking like, oh god, I gotta take a shit right now. Like, do you ever get those poops really, like for real ever? That's because you guys take care of your body, unlike me. And drink 4 to 5 days a week and eat Philly cheesesteaks and cheese fries and eat like popcorn once a day, and that's like my whole
The
meal.
only days I don't
Soda.
eat fried chicken are my off days.
Yeah, so me and Sean, I know Sean has some powerful fucking diarrhea. You just don't drive on the highway a lot, right? You've had
I
those
drive
like,
on the highway every day now.
but you've had those like I gotta stop everything that I'm doing and take a shit right now, right? You get those?
Yeah, at work all the time.
Yeah, me too.
About
That's
10:30 in the morning
'cause
every
we
day.
treat our bodies like garbage. That's like you just the hot sauce and cheese and
I
shredded
do.
cheese out the bag,
Yeah, shredded cheese out the bag.
whole sticks
No,
of
what
butter.
you do is you take the butter and you roll it around in the shredded cheese.
That
and
is
then you
the
drench
move.
it in hot sauce.
Have you guys ever had the
Dude,
butter cheese
I
ball
don't-
before?
Yeah, that's like.
What
they-
the fuck?
just
Y'all ain't
pop
never
back
had a
few
butter
of
cheese
those.
ball.
Dude,
Do
I
not
swear.
talk to me about some disgusting,
Yeah,
foul,
I'd really
Dude, we are
love.
culinary
self-hate type
artists.
of meal.
Dude, me and Sean, when we were kids, we used to make fucking. Sean showed me Epic Mealtime when we were in like high school, 15 years old or whatever. And then it was like our catchphrase was everything that we said was like bacon strips and bacon strips and bacon strips. And then one day we had this story's past the statute of limitations, so I'm just gonna tell it. This dude fucking basically stole some shit from a place that he worked at, and it was like we didn't know that he'd stole it. It was a bunch of bacon, like a crate of
Dude,
bacon.
it was literally a 2 foot by 2 foot box
Oh wow.
full of bacon.
Several pounds of it and
Right.
cheese, and he brings it all over, and
I
we're all
like
looking at each
spelled
other.
my name out on the floor with it.
Yeah,
It
he
was
had
crazy.
sealed packages of bacon and then put his name all over the floor and then laid
But
like
apparently
on top
he stole them, and
We-
he didn't tell us that they were stolen. But we took all this bacon and ate it in like a week.
of it. Well, there's more to it than that. We made bacon creation, which is like what we used to make all the time to try to kill ourselves at an early age, where you make what's called a bacon weave, and you weave bacon together like a fucking
lattice.
basket. Yeah,
Yeah, I've
a
seen
lattice
Epic
of
Mealtime.
bacon. Yeah, and then we had like sweet potato fries with nacho cheese, dumped it in the middle of it, and then like rolled it up, cooked it again, and then sliced it up.
Sorry to interrupt. I have to go get our other guest that's our next episode. I'll be right back.
It's perfectly fine. But I'm just saying, diet choices like this are why me and Sean at fucking in our early 20s are like, oh no, the diarrhea's caught me at work again or in traffic. Like, it's no stories like that ever, Luke. Okay, we'll be right back, fuckers. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. We had a house guest come over. So we were talking about making like bacon lattices, eating fucking disgusting food, and Luke started telling me about this video, and I stopped him so that we could play this shit cold right for the podcast right now. So the caption is hot blonde swallows a stick of butter. She swallowed, all caps, exclamation point.
What?
It's pretty intense.
Okay, so she's in the kitchen with a whole fucking stick of butter. So let's go.
There's a sink
right there.
You don't get it.
She handles it like a fucking champ.
You got it. I'll take the rest.
I'm afraid of what? I'm gonna vomit. Oh my god!
Oh my
Hold
god.
on. She's killing it. No tears.
Dude,
no
she
tears.
takes-
Killing it.
She takes her middle and index finger and pushes this whole stick of butter down her throat. And now it's caught in her esophagus.
She choking?
And she emptied her tongue and the tiniest pat of butter came out. But I don't even understand.
So
Like,
you gotta massage your throat as it's going down.
and then your body temperature like warms it
Oh
and
my
it
God.
slowly melts it into your stomach.
But this,
I gotta look something
this
up.
is what
That's
I am
pretty hot.
getting. This is what I'm understanding watching the video again right
Boner
here
check.
with you
Anybody
guys.
hard right now?
Is that she
Clear.
had a group of friends around her and a group of other dudes behind them
They
recording.
probably told her to do it.
But see, the thing is, she probably had done that before. How does that get brought up? And then you get powwowed around.
Show her the butter trick. Like, oh my god, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It must have happened.
There's
like that.
810 calories in a whole stick of butter. She ate 100. Oh my god,
And
dude.
on top of that,
can't-
was she
Yeah, I
eating
don't
beef
even
for the
pay
dead.
attention to that kind of shit. I don't know if that's.
I don't
I'm
either.
guessing it's high because it's butter.
Yeah. that's-
2,000 is your daily calorie intake.
Daily.
Yeah.
So 1 stick of butter. If you eat a stick or 2 of butter a day, you won't have to eat anything else.
I'm not sure that's how it works, Sean.
I think
Unless
that's what
it's
he's
salted
trying to tell
butter.
me.
Let me ask you this: would you?
Even
I mean,
then.
how much money would it take for you to eat sticks of butter for every meal of every day for a whole month?
We already.
A month?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you'd last a month.
Like
I don't
health
know.
wise?
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, absolutely, health-wise.
you think it would be like the Super Size Me
You gotta
documentary?
You gotta
But
eat,
worse.
But like,
Can you imagine what your shits would be like? And there's no vitamins
So
in any
thick.
of that.
it kind of
Like,
just leaks out. Like if
Yeah.
you eat a whole bag of Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, it just like creeps out on its own. Like you don't even feel it. You're like, is there a strong wind in my underwear right now? Oh no, I shit myself again for the 8th time.
It's
today.
like sharding, except you don't feel it, and it's just kind of constant. I guess it's like what a period is like.
So that's eating
but,
sticks
like,
of butter. That's
in
the
your
keto
ass,
diet, right?
And it's
like,
butter.
I feel like it would
Butter,
be
shit
like
butter.
really thick, like clay,
I don't
like
think it
really
would be
hard
thick at
clay,
all.
or maybe like Play-Doh. Like you could make shapes of it, you know, be so
Sludge
thick.
Butter is
poo?
like
Yeah,
straight
sludgy
oil.
shit, you know, sludge poo.
Sludge poo.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. That's fucking nasty. I wanted to ask this before we got off the top, too far off the topic. Now we've all lived the poor man's diet, but how poor is the poor man's diet? How far have you gone to survive being broke?
I mean, I haven't really ever been that broke. I'm not fucking homeless.
I'm talking about like
or anything.
growing up. Like let's say all you
Growing
have
up,
My mom.
I had Easter candy for dinner the other night.
That's true. I just saw him do it.
Dude, I go.
I was there.
We had like 4 Kroger bags full of Easter candy, and we're down to half a bag of just what's the bullshit. And I'm probably not gonna touch that.
Not because his body can't take anymore before he goes into a diabetic coma, but because it's not the good candy.
It's not. I already ate all the chocolate.
What do you dub as
What
not
was
good
left?
candy?
What was left?
Yeah, what do you dub not good candy?
I don't know, like crunchy, hard candies.
Like Almond Joys?
No, I love
Like grandma
those.
candies.
Like yeah, like grandma candies.
Like
This
butterscotch?
should be in a green jar.
Or like in an ashtray. Or
Yeah.
some shit on the side of a couch, your grandma's couch. So you're talking about like butterscotch. You're talking about that one nasty ass
I
candy
like
that's.
butterscotch.
Everyone sleeps on butterscotch. Butterscotch is a
Butterscotch is
good
amazing,
candy.
right?
Yeah.
You guys are
They
crazy.
got
That shit is
butterscotch ice
nasty.
You
cream.
know those toffee candies? Those fucking coffee toffee candies? Those
Classic.
shit are
Those are
phenomenal.
good.
Classic.
Love those fucking
Those are
things.
the grandma candies.
The
So,
worst grandma
if they're-
candies is black licorice.
Oh, fucking
Dude, that's some
hate
nasty
black
shit.
licorice.
Throw that shit in the toilet.
You ever had absinthe?
No, but I want some.
I've
love
only had it once. I'd like to hear your stories with it though. But my neighbor at my old house that I used to have like a bunch of people out all the time. Our neighbor was 65 years old, and he just somehow came over when we had like this huge party at our place. There was like 400 people in this 2-bedroom house, and he came over in his boxers, flirting with all the girls, and he brought this big ass glow in the dark bottle of absinthe, and it had like a worm or something at the bottom of it or something like that. It was a dark bottle, and it was all in Russian. He brought it over, and everybody started taking like swigs of it. I tasted it. It tasted like the nastiest black licorice I've ever had.
Yeah, it's straight up black licorice. You're supposed to take. Sean has the whole setup. You have a special glass. You pour the absinthe in it, and there's a metal spoon thing with slots in it, and you set it above there, and you put a sugar cube in it, and slowly drip water onto the sugar cube, and then it'll light on fire. No. You drip the absinthe onto the sugar cube. It goes into the glass. You light it, and then you douse it with water.
Forget what it's
Drops
called.
of
It's
cold
called
water.
like flooshing it or slooshing.
Yeah, and the
Douching
sugar and
the
water
absinthe.
makes it taste. Yeah, you douche the absinthe.
Sounds
and it
like
makes it
some
taste amazing.
meth-like chemistry
It's
system.
like a chemistry thing, I guess. Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I felt that though too. I don't like black licorice. I like Jägermeister, but I feel like there's more there than just black licorice when I drink Jägermeister. But with fucking absinthe, it's straight up anise, and anise is the flavor of the black licorice or whatever. And it's fucking, I don't know, kind of horrendous. I don't really like drinking it. And it's all 70 proof, like, or not 70, it's like 90 fucking proof. Like, every bottle that I've ever drank is super high alcohol.
I
Not 90
like
proof,
I like that taste just when it's in alcohol, not when it's in candy. It's not good candy, but alcohol, I mean, it's better than vodka to me. It's better than tequila straight.
Yeah.
I like the buzz mostly.
I'll take it
like
over
it.
to... I heard
It's not like crazy different than a normal buzz, but it's like in a way that a wine drunk is different than a beer drunk.
Is it actually different, or is it like just placebo?
It could just be placebo, but
I think
it seems like it's a little slightly different.
I
I mean,
get different...
wine drunk is a totally different.
You're right.
Not totally, but it is a different sort of feeling.
Is that the sugar? Is that all the fucking sugar in wine? I feel like that's where the headache and the fucking hangover gets way worse the next day. I definitely get different types of drunk, though. Like, tequila drunk's different than a whiskey drunk for me. Like, if I'm drinking whiskey, I'll turn into a fucking animal eventually if that's all I'm drinking. But I feel like if I'm drinking anything straight for long enough, I'm going to turn into an animal eventually. You having mic issues? Anything wrong?
Yeah,
Cool.
you fixed it. Thank you.
I
Thank
found
you.
out what it was.
All right. But I like Jägermeister. I don't know why people hate it so much. It's just
Dude,
it's
I
so
like it.
sweet and soda. I like it's like a really really hard soda or something like that.
I love putting it in a fucking Red Bull and just like you stay energized, you stay awake, and you don't fucking go to sleep while you're drinking.
Don't they tell you to not do that?
Yeah, that's
specifically
the
to like
thing.
not do that.
They tell you to not smoke cigarettes and not casually do cocaine and not smoke
We
weed
know
every
they
day.
say it's like cocaine. They said it, like a Red Bull and vodka is like doing a line of coke, which I don't know is fully true or not.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
Have you ever
never done
snorted
that.
drywall?
Not that I know of, but as
Fucking-
shitty as hell as possible.
I put different white drugs into my nose before, so I imagine that one dickhead dealer might
White,
have put
brown,
drywall in there.
orange, purple.
Did you get lit?
I'm sure I did. There's many. Do you want to get to one specific drug story? I can't.
Yeah,
like,
the
I'm
time-
not gonna
There's
pin it
too
down.
many.
Yeah,
I just want to know about the drywall. That's
Fucking
what I'm.
no one has snorted drywall.
Okay, let
bud.
me ask
That's
you
a
this.
lie.
Dude,
That's a lie.
Here, I got a man-to-man, and it just came real
We're
quick.
doing man-to-mans before the episode even
No,
starts,
it's
Patrick.
just for one right. You know what? You go on. I'll ask.
Go ahead.
anyway.
No, go
okay,
ahead.
Okay.
He's always been premature.
I gotta think about this right now. Okay. Would you
Goddamn.
rather, Luke,
Yes.
eat sticks of butter for every meal for the rest of your this month for every meal? And I totally just blanked out what I was gonna say on the other one. What were we just talking about?
going,
Probably
Pat.
about or snort drywall.
Oh yeah, would you snort drywall? Thanks. God, I'm a fucking idiot. Blanked. Yeah, would you snort drywall as your drug of choice, or would you rather eat sticks of butter every meal for every day for a month?
Drywall for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to go drywall, Pat.
It's got to be a pound of it.
No.
No, I'm not trying to die, Patrick.
Fuck on, bud. What are you
Put a
doing?
line of drywall and you're fine. That's enough.
I'll
It's
do a
a-
key bump of drywall.
Think about
Yeah,
it.
not
if
that
it
I
was a
don't
key
know what
bump,
that
I
is.
would definitely take
Keep
it
up a
over
drywall is probably safe.
Let's say that they have 6 foot subs.
Dude,
it's
those
like the
people
6
on
foot
my
subs of
strange-
lines.
My strange addiction, people ate drywall.
I watched him chew on bricks and shit, eating light bulbs. I'm sure you could snort a little drywall.
This lady was just
Pat.
picking pieces off the wall all day.
What about
and her
that chick
house
that
looked
snorted
like
baby powder?
there was just no wall
The whole thing.
left.
Yeah, baby powder, the brick thing, that's all fucked. Imagine sticking a piece of brick in your mouth and chewing on it.
I actually have a story about snorting drywall. It's not my story, and it's from an unverifiable source. My uncle is dead now, so he can't really tell this story, but he told me this story, so you can't really fact check me on this
Okay.
one. So point is, he was selling coke for a while, and he said that this dude kept hitting him up in the middle of the night, like every single time that he wanted it, and then he would get like a fucking gram at a time, and he's like, let me just sell you an 8-ball. And then the dude was like, nah, I just want a gram. And then he'd keep hitting him up every hour and the hour, and he'd be like half asleep, and then you'd hear the dude bang on the door, like, Chris, you there, Chris? And he was like, I'm fucking done with this dude. And then he got pissed and like hit the wall, and then he looked at the wall, and there was like fucking like the drywall dust on his fucking hand, and he'd like broke a hole through, and then he was like, idea bubble, and then he fucking throws like some drywall into the bag and mixes it with the coke, so he cuts it with drywall, and then the dude did it and said that he loved it, and then fucking kept coming back for the rest of the night.
Oh my god.
And he was just laughing his balls off, and then he woke up the next day, called him like on some landline, and was just like, so did you like that shit from last night? And he was like, it was great, dude, but my nose will not stop bleeding. He was like, it's just fucking pouring, like I've never had it ever this bad before. And he was like, damn, I've never heard about anything like that. That sucks, bro. And then he's just laughing his balls off as soon as he gets off the phone with him.
What a
But
fucking
what if he
maniac.
had eaten butter every day
Yeah.
for a month? I think he'd be much
Dude,
worse off.
That
I
reminds me of a really fucked up revenge story I read online. There was a story where this guy, where he was talking to some girl, and one of his best buds at that time, who was actually just a bully. You know, he wasn't really best friends, but the guy, they were like best, you know what I mean? They just hung out all the time, but it was just not a very 50-50 kind of relationship.
Totally get it.
So the guy fucked his interest. The bully best friend guy fucked his love interest. And so what he did, he asked like, hey man, I'm trying to smoke some weed, and asked the guy that got fucked over. And he's like, I think I know where I can get you some. And he was so pissed off, and I guess what he did, and it's really fucked up what he did.
As he absolutely should be.
He started putting little bits of heroin inside
Whoa.
and lacing it on. He said he was really young, so I don't know. He didn't know exactly what he was doing at the time, but he got.
Fuck, if you have heroin, you know what you're doing at the time.
Yeah, so he was like,
Yeah.
You don't just
Yes, you
stumble
do.
on some heroin. Like,
So
it's not
Yup.
like trip on the sidewalk.
Maybe he
Oh,
got it
that's a
from
giant
Daddy.
bag of heroin.
That's a goddamn fact.
so
With a
he
big
was.
heroin sticker on it. Like, he knew what the fuck he was doing.
Especially if he was cutting it into someone's weed.
he's
He was
rolling
like,
joints.
are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, this dude is lying to you, Pat. Keep going.
I think what he was saying is that he didn't know that it was heroin until he asked the guy he was getting it from.
What did he think he was cutting it with?
I
He was
don't
like,
know.
I thought it was rat poison, but
Maybe like
fucking heroin. God damn it! I was trying to murder
I should
him.
have known.
Every time you try to. Get
I don't know why he chose this, but he was lacing the weed with it, and the guy just a little bit, and he kept coming back, and he was like, and then eventually he just said, I'm done selling it to him. And the guy kept begging him for it. And then later, it turns like 10 years down the road, the guy was like a major heroin addict. He like lost everything. He's living on the streets.
All because
almost
he
committed suicide.
Fuck this dude's girl.
Yeah, it was some really fucked up shit, dude.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
But it sounds like something I might have done when I was 16.
Dude, that's the
ruined
petty
his
shit I would
entire
do.
life.
Yeah.
That
I
is
was
a
like,
life
oh, fuck my
ruined.
girl. I'm going to ruin
That's
your
some
whole
Eric-
life with heroin
that's some
addiction.
Eric Cartman shit.
I was just
Yeah,
about to say
yeah.
that's some feed your parents
Yeah.
back to you and some chili shit right there. I
so
made you
fucked
eat
up.
your parents.
I love that show.
It's fucking tremendous. Don't worry
That
about the
is
dogs
so
barking.
fucked in the head.
I know,
dude.
it really is really fucked up. Like, who the fuck would do that? I mean, have you ever had like a revenge, like something like that? What's the worst thing you did to someone?
can't
What,
tell.
me, the worst thing I've ever done is go home, grit my teeth, and hate them from a distance about it.
Oh, I've done some mean shit to people.
I
I
just
can't talk
bury
about
all
the
of
best
my
ones.
angry feelings.
The best ones aren't past the statute, so I can't talk about them either.
Same.
I mean, well, there's the ones I already got in trouble for. I put a brick through a dude's window for $10 one time, and then
Okay, what happened?
I was 14 and we were smoking pot, and the dude was like 21, and we gave him money to go buy us weed. It's a long time ago, so if you hear me like stuttering and like fucking it up, it's because I'm trying to remember exactly how it happened. We're at his house, I think, and it's down the street from my friend's house, Josh, and we're chilling there, and he's like, I'll be right back. And then he goes up the street, and he's gone for 30 minutes, and we're in his fucking dingy crack den of an apartment house. And it was barely it was like a house, like a fucking studio apartment house. I don't know how else to describe it. Fucking Milwaukee's Beast Ice cans everywhere. And then we just get a phone call, like, I can't get it, I'll get your money back tomorrow, but you guys got to go, lock the door behind you. And I was like, all right. And then we go back up to Josh's, wake up the next morning, go and fucking knock on the door, and he pretends like he's not home. And I was like, this motherfucker doesn't answer the door. I'm going to kick this dude's door and steal his fucking guitar. And then over $10, because I'm a dumb 14-year-old kid. And we walked around to the back, and there's some fucking pile of bricks in the back. And then Josh and his brother start walking away, and me and Brandon just look at each other like, fuck this dude, let's fuck him over. And then we grabbed a brick.
Wait a sec.
And took off.
Was this that chubby bisexual dude?
Chubby bisexual dude? No.
I guess not.
Chuck.
All right.
Chuck, I don't know if Chuck's listening, but if he is, he knows we did it. I mean, he chased...
Allegedly.
He ran up the street with the fucking brick. We went through the woods, and then our friend was meeting us, and our friend comes around the corner sweating. He was like, Chuck's looking for y'all. He's got a brick, 2 bricks in his hand, and he's fucking pissed. He was like, where the fuck is Josh and Cody? Because I know they broke my window. And I
He
was
should
like,
have
that was
answered the
fast.
door.
Yeah, he should have answered the door, because I was
His
trying to get my
fault.
money back, and then we were going to
What do you
commit
expect?
We were going to commit a felony at 14, a breaking and entering felony over $10.
See, all I've gathered
Instead-
from this is that you smoked pot and it made you throw a brick through somebody's window. And now I know never to do that.
All right,
Yeah,
Jeff
don't
Sessions.
smoke pot.
Yeah, that
That's
was
the moral
of
of
that
the story.
This is why pot's illegal. This is
It
what
is.
turns you into.
Dumb fucks like me. Yeah, I had a lot of things going on when I was 14. But yeah, that's the whole idea.
Like puberty.
Is there any that you can tell? Because I know you got some good ones, but like
Revenge?
Yeah, revenge stories.
One of my exes, she did this thing where she broke up with me and then she'd go like bang some other dude and then she'd get back with me a week later. And it took me like 3 times of it happening to figure it out. Like, oh, she's breaking up with me for a week at a time because she's seeing someone else. So I started fucking her best friend, and then they haven't been friends since.
What happened there? Like, can you give a little bit more detail and like how they found out? And
Can you give her street address?
did
and
you
first
did you
and
tell
last
her?
name?
Did you tell her that you fucked her best friend?
Yeah,
Like immediately after, like you rolled over and
I wasn't
you gotta,
just
you're like,
fucking
hey, I
her.
gotta
I was
use my,
dating her.
I gotta
Were you
check
like-
something
I
on my
started
phone.
dating her best friend after that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Damn.
How old were you?
I was like 14.
How hard was it to bang your best friend? Did you have to put in some work, or was it just
It
like,
was
here's my penis?
First attempt. Like, I started
happened?
messaging her, and it was like the next day.
She sounds like a hell of a best friend. Soul sisters.
Goddamn.
Soul Sister just on the prowl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
powerful.
but then, so she had this abandoned house next door to her. And what she did is she brought me up like through the roof. We both climbed onto the second floor balcony so we could climb up into the upstairs. And the window's busted out, and it's like carpeted, but there's like bugs everywhere, and there's sticks and twigs everywhere from weathering, just like throwing the elements, just throwing everything inside there. But we were up there banging, and we both just had our boots on for some reason.
Knocking
we
boots, literally.
We didn't take the boots off. We took everything else off, but we didn't take off our boots.
How'd you get your
I
pants
guess
off?
it's because the place was so dirty or something.
I feel like it's really
But I like-
difficult to take your pants off when you have boots on, though.
I think we put them back on. I think it was the floor
took
was
your
dirty
boots
or
off,
something.
took the pants
I
and
don't
underwear
remember.
off, put the
but
boots
anyways, I brought it up to somebody, and they thought like my story was hilarious, and told somebody else. And next thing you know, her nickname at school was Puss in Boots, and she broke up with my ass.
God damn.
back on. I forgot about shit like that happening at school. You tell one person, and then fucking the whole school
Right.
knows, and then never shuts the fuck up about it. You're walking down the hallway like, "What's up, Puss in Boots?" Like, this motherfucker. I told one person. Like, how does the fucking principal yelling it at me down the hallway?
Dude, that happens with literally anything. You remember Sean Sims? He said at lunchtime, party at Luke's house this Saturday. People showed up at my house that Saturday.
That's fucking.
I
annoying.
had a party thrown on the fly that I did not even try to bring together by any means.
That's called a surprise party.
It was horseshit, but it was pretty fun.
There was a time when I was younger that we used to call this girl grilled cheese behind her back. Have I ever told this story in the podcast?
Nope.
All right, well, it makes you sound like a terrible person, but I'm going to tell it anyways.
I want you to tell it so bad now.
So there was this girl that was hanging out with a group of friends that I was hanging out with in high school that everybody wanted to have sex with. So basically, she was very pretty, you know. She was a pretty girl, but little did we know she had a dirty little secret. A very dirty little secret that's nasty as fuck. So one of my friends that actually is like, okay, I got a date with her. I'm going to go see her. We're going to the movies, and then we're going back and like going in the parking lot, you know, like to go fuck around like you do back in high school. So he gets the movie's over. I don't remember what they saw. Sorry.
We're mature.
Sorry. So they get back to the car, and he's about to go down on her. He goes down, and he says he saw something that made him almost throw up instantly. Have you ever opened up a grilled cheese, and you just know all the cheese sticks together, and it makes that noise?
No.
He said... no, not that I can recall. No. But it does. It makes a nasty cheese noise if you just really listen to it. Yeah, it's fucking gross. He says that it looked like white grilled cheese down there, and it was so disgusting. He stopped instantly, got out of the car, and called...
the police immediately?
He called someone to get out of there. And,
maybe she was just real mucusy.
That's exactly
real flimmy down there.
Like the predator mouth.
My word.
God damn.
Wait, why does that make you
Do you
sound
imagine
like a
the predator
person?
mouth when you're banging chicks?
Whenever
just imagine you're putting your dick in the predator. Why do we keep bringing this up?
It was
like
brought up because you two fools completely misinterpreted what I
I
said by
remember.
all
You
means.
said vaginas look like the predator.
That's not what I said. I said,
the
is it what?
design.
And then he said, "You think that the vagina was based on the predator's mouth?"
No.
Yeah, Luke, when God created the
You
human
fucking
vagina.
idiots! That's where you got it mixed up. I was talking about how he
we have
designed
a
the
recording,
predators.
Luke.
You are interrupting.
It is recorded.
I was talking about how the predator's mouth was designed off of the vagina. Just like the alien's head
We'll let
was
the viewers
designed off
decide.
of the human penis.
He's absolutely right with that. It's just
yeah.
funny. It's
So
just
suck
funny
a
topic.
fucking dick, both of you.
We should definitely let the viewers decide. If you think Luke is full of shit and he actually
Comment on this episode.
Yeah.
Comment on this episode
write
right
us your
now.
emails at thebastardsermon@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I won't stand for it.
I think that's fucking great.
But wait, why does that story make you sound
because
bad?
every time she'd walk by, we'd always say, "Hey, grilled cheese," and she'd be like, "What does that mean?" And we would never tell her, and everyone in the school said it too.
So what?
Man, I've given people nicknames. Let me.
You talked about fuck leg last time. You talked
Yeah,
about
good old fuck leg.
the old troll. Have you talked about troll?
Yeah, who's troll?
Are you afraid that
Like a
she'll
troll
listen
under
to
the bridge,
bastard sermon?
like.
That's the jokes we used to make. He looks so reluctant to talk
Yeah.
about this stuff.
Well, it's too late now. You might as well say it, dude.
Does she know that nickname?
Let's delve into it.
She knows.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh, let's hear it. Who gives a
We
shit?
openly called her a troll. Like, you look like a troll, you troll ass bitch.
That's just
like-
mean.
Yeah,
Troll.
okay, it's mean, but like we didn't make her hang out with us.
She's so desperate for friends. She
Right. If I'm hanging around someone, I don't really, say what you want, and maybe they'll go away.
So, does she have like a
Yeah,
big
that's
wart
true.
on her face or some shit? Like, why is she
just
troll?
the shape of the face, just very.
Troll-like.
under a bridge
Troll-like.
like.
Under a
She looked like she wanted to tell you a riddle.
Tell me a riddle.
You know when a girl got a look on her face like she wants to tell you a riddle and then have you stroke her beard? It's one of those faces.
Can't cross her bridge until you do.
Wonderful little wart underneath her nose and
So you
next
said
to her
Nah,
eye.
that's not accurate. Just very chiseled facial construction.
I don't think that's how women
Haphazard.
like to be described. Chiseled faces.
Chiseled is usually used in a
Damn, girl,
positive
you look like
manner.
a chiseled man of a boy.
what do you like about me? Your chiseled finesse.
Your chiseled strong chin.
I really like the square shape of your face. Just the jawline,
God.
Oh my
the
god.
nose. Your nose looks like a U.
A you?
Like one of those fucking baboons that hang out in the hot springs and shit.
Oh,
My
fuck
lord.
no. I'm done with trolls.
Done with
Don't
trolls.
fuck with 'em.
I'm
So-
trying to think of fucked up nicknames that they gave people.
Watermelon throat?
What
Or
does that
neck.
mean?
I
What's-
can. Watermelon throat. What was that?
The fuck?
We,
Or explosion neck was what you guys went with
explosion neck. What are we talking
Delve
about?
into it.
from
Let's
high
hear it.
school?
I don't remember, dude.
Okay, let's hear it.
Come on, Luke.
Oh, you remember that tall ass like fat bitch that like everybody like she was the boss.
What?
You don't remember the boss?
The boss.
They called her like something the boss, but she was like
The final boss you have to beat in a video
I don't
game.
even fuck. She was like 7 feet tall. She was very broad shoulders. She
Was she a
didn't
Dark
have
Souls
a neck.
boss?
She didn't have a neck, and her head looked like a pear, like a really large pear, like
What a
a
freak.
gourd, a massive gourd.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I met so many ugly ass looking fucking people in high school.
Some people just stand out.
Yeah,
Just
they
a
do it.
sea of ugly.
God, do you think
that
they're like,
was cool. Right?
No, what was
And you can't
explosion
feel
neck though?
bad
Can we go back to that?
I actually think I'm doing you a great dishonor and getting you confused with Andy Schnoyer, who got her who started calling her Splosion Neck. But I know there were many others.
What was wrong with her neck? To set this up.
Yeah, what does
She had
that mean?
she had like a bullfrog-esque neck.
Like,
See,
like it
that's what I'm
expanded?
talking about.
Like there was extra skin where her neck was, and it was just her chin and jawline expanding downwards
Some people are racing down the highway right
into
now.
like a skin flab.
Yeah, ew.
She looked like she could croak if she tried.
Ribbit.
But that's
All
why
right.
they called her Splosion Neck, because it looked like someone stuffed something down her throat and then it exploded.
Right on. That is some nasty shit. Makes me think of The Mist where that girl got stung in the neck and it like fucking swelled up, and that was some freaky shit when I was younger.
I love that movie.
Classic
That movie's a
Steven.
fucking great movie. A lot of
For
people
sure.
hate it. Best
Right, I don't
ending
get it.
I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Not ever
Word.
seen, but it was great.
It was really
Maybe
good.
not ever seen.
It kind of blew my mind as a kid. I was like, wait a second. I don't know if I was even a kid. I don't know how old I was.
I saw that shit in the Danbury.
I've seen it there a couple times.
Danbury.
Did you also get bed bugs from the Danbury?
Yeah,
No.
actually, how'd you know?
I feel like that's the place to go get bed
They're
bugs.
If you don't
complimentary.
get the bed bugs from the Danbury, did you really go?
Yeah,
No,
that's
you
true.
didn't.
You're right. You make a
You get the
wonderful point.
T-shirt that has the bed bugs.
I got
crusted
bed bugs at
onto it.
Danbury.
How many bed bugs
They
did you get at
laminate
the
the
Danbury?
bed bugs to your socks.
A whole apartment
God.
full. All right. Well,
Right
this is
on.
at about our 45-minute point. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back, fuckers. And we're back.
Welcome back to episode 12 of the Scabby Eyes.
Yeah, let's talk about scabby eyes.
What the fuck are scabby eyes?
Really, really, like, picture the
Scab never
nasty.
eyes.
Let's say you fell on your bike, all right, and your knee got scuffed up. Imagine that scab that's on your knee is over your eyelids.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Or even worse, on your eyes. Like, every
Or-
time you blink, it's just
Did
past
that
the
happen though?
wall of crusty
Is that possible?
scab.
You want to hear something even worse?
Yeah.
Scabs encasing your teeth.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, guys. It never ends.
Just keep talking about scabs on your teeth.
Like remember that Man to Man where I said, would you rather have skin grow over your teeth?
Like a new gum layer over your
yes,
teeth.
but scabs.
Oh, God. So every time that you chew on something, you taste like the scab and you
Yep.
feel it like on
And it breaks off too.
Have you seen those reptile babies?
Ick.
No? What is that? Can you show me a
That's
picture of this?
like, that's like those kids that are born in those third world countries that have like the scale.
Oh,
disease
shit.
in
I
their
don't want to see
skin.
that.
It's
Have you
like-
seen a Harlequin baby?
I think.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what
I don't want
it
to see it.
is.
I don't want to see it. It's okay.
Yeah,
I know what
it's
it is.
fucked up.
I'm familiar with it. Those are fucking terrifying and horrible.
Yeah, dude. Imagine being born with that and not dying right away. What if you made it to like 25 or something?
That is some dark shit. I think they almost always die. There's very few that live, right?
It's probably not possible to live.
I don't know, man. They look really fucking bad. Like, you want to describe that
It'd
in
be a
detail?
very poor quality of
It's
life
like all-
if you were able to live somehow.
Scaled skin and red and fucking bleedy and...
Probably have to survive in like a tank.
That sounds horrible.
Can you imagine having a baby and like it just comes out and like you know it's gonna die in like a month? You're about to have a kid in fucking 10 days, Sean. Can you imagine something that horrific happening?
How you feel about that?
I don't know.
Stress.
This is my third
Stress.
Oh my god.
one. My third one. I'm just like, yeah.
Third one that
Like,
you know of.
I'll come in around lunchtime, and you can give birth, and I'll go back to work. No, not really. Not really. Not literally.
I'm gonna pick up McDonald's
but
before
that's
I
like
get there.
what it is now. It's
I'll
like,
be there.
I'm giving birth.
That's
I'll
the way
be there.
Amanda talks about it now. She's just walking around the house like, so when you get nothing out of you, she's like, well, they're taking it from me in 10 days, and she's like fucking drinking coffee, sitting there chilling. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. She doesn't drink coffee. I don't know why coffee was my beverage that I went with, but she just is not making a big deal of it, and it seems like that she was just pregnant yesterday, and now she's having birth. She's giving birth already.
What
Like,
happens?
It does not feel like it's been that long, and it's a son, like my first son, so that's gonna be pretty tight.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Congrats, dude.
Congrats. Dude, I used
I'm
to work
excited.
with this chick. She was pregnant on the job, and by the way, this job is physically demanding, so she shouldn't have been there. She should have been on light work, which you can't apply for at the place we were working at. But she was pregnant, and every morning she would drink a fucking Monster or a Starbucks, like one of those glass drinks from a gas station.
Yeah.
She would buy them and drink 2 of them every morning. That is horrible. Horrible.
It probably makes Harlequin babies. That's probably how it happens.
Yeah. Oh God.
I can't imagine the baby being perfect.
Right? She's smoking cigarettes through her pussy and fucking pouring Monster Energy drink into an IV
Dude,
and shooting it into
Believe
her veins.
me, I tried saying something and she was like, "No, it's okay as long as I have just 200 milligrams." Have you ever looked on the back of those
Oh my
fucking
God.
cans? By the way, if you look up the advice to it, it's like 200 milligrams is the absolute max.
That big fucking can's 3 Monster Energies, and each can has like 80 milligrams of caffeine in it. So it'd be like 240 milligrams of caffeine in a fucking big giant thing. I don't know how much is bad for you, though.
Dude.
How much of caffeine is bad? I drink so much.
Dude, I'll drink like a Starbucks macchiato after drinking a Dunkin' Donuts macchiato and having a coffee at home before I did all this. And probably having a Monster by the end of the day.
And I don't even get shaky.
And still go to bed by 10:30 at night.
Same, dude. I
Holy
get
heart
tired as
disease.
fuck.
Right.
Damn. How would you feel?
Dude, I feel different. Like, my heart, I can feel, I'm aware of it lately. Like, I can feel it, like, at all
Oh my
times.
God.
Well, one,
It's
that's
not-
a danger.
It's not great.
And
Eat
two,
a lot of fried foods and candy.
all the chemicals,
Candy for dinner.
Straight up.
all those chemicals and the way those energy drinks are made, if you drink them in surplus, will for sure change the way your body operates.
It definitely changes your chemistry.
Absolutely, yeah.
As
Sean-
we're all drinking vodka, don't worry about it. We're all gonna die.
Tito-
Vodka,
Hey,
cranberry,
this is one of
there
the
is
few
juice
times
in
I'm
it.
splurging.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Well,
So, how would you feel if, like, right after you have the baby, Amanda's pregnant again?
what? How soon can she get pregnant?
No,
after
dude,
she
I think
you
you
gets-
get
can,
pregnant-
you can get pregnant, like, immediately after giving birth.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like when you're the most fertile in your life. Is like right
Why?
after you give
So are you
birth.
gonna get right in that hospital bed, start
No.
dumping
You're
clips
supposed
inside
to
of
wait,
her?
like,
6
All right,
weeks.
you
6
pumped
weeks,
the kid
yeah.
out. Can the nurse watch her for a minute?
Is the 6
I
weeks
can
for...
wait 6 weeks.
Is the 6 weeks for everything to go back to normal, or, like, physically, or is it
I
because...
think it's a
of the-
combination of that and you're super fertile.
Do you have a lick 'em and
There's
stick 'em
probably-
wall fleshlight that you can use for
I
the
think
6
you
weeks in
get.
between?
Well, I know you get stitches a lot of the time because you see your asshole and vagina kind of rip together and become like one whole, and they gotta stitch that shit
What
back
the
up.
fuck?
Did you not know how birth operates until this
No,
very
it's just-
moment?
the way he describes it blows my mind. He
Sean?
says a vagina ripped to your butthole, and it's one hole, and like it's
super
a
hole.
combination of piss and shit and vaginal fluids.
Your
and
womb is a sewer.
it just sounds just like a nightmare.
I could use all the
situation.
technical terms, if,
No, I like the way you're describing it. It's fucking hilarious.
but yeah, dude.
Looks like her
Birth is
labia had an
crazy.
exorcism.
So how would you feel if she, like a week later, she's like, "So I'm pregnant again, and it's
It
twins."
wouldn't happen because I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna.
What if
Have sex with
right
her
after
anymore?
you waited? What if it was right after you waited? I'm just saying, the very next time you had sex with her, you got her pregnant again.
Do you think you're gonna stop having sex with her after this forever?
Sure.
Are you gonna get snipped?
No.
Well, you might have another kid if you keep having
I
sex.
saw that the male birth control.
Really?
That shit. Yeah, it's like a pill you take, but it's like
Cuts off the
I
sperm.
forget what it does.
But
It
it's
like
gonna
stops
make me
your sperm
fat.
from swimming or something. It
Yeah.
like stops them from being able to swim.
They don't. They
I
can't
don't-
move.
I think it does
I think
something
that's what it
horrible
is.
to men, like really horrible.
Well,
No.
so does
It
birth
doesn't-
control.
Yeah, any birth control
So
has
there's
side
fried
effects.
chicken
Yeah.
and candy and
Butter,
Monster
cheese, hot
and
sauce
vodka
balls.
cranberries,
Yeah, swallowing whole sticks of butter,
fucking
Yeah,
chicken
true.
fingers,
fucking chicken,
goddamn mayonnaise.
If you
goddamn mayonnaise.
could you sterilize yourself from at home? Is there like a Reddit DIY sterilization tip?
Dude,
Yeah,
you
I'll
know,
tell you.
I'm gonna
I'll
look into
Balls
that.
in a microwave.
The tip is literally the tip, by the way, and you take a burning hot embered stick and shove it down your pee hole.
I was about to
Is
say,
that
like,
how?
get a red hot poker
Or
from
so
a
I've
broken
read
head
in the books.
hanger and just shove that hanger in your dick hole.
What if you shove that hot iron down the wiener hole and it just clamps that hole shut when you pull her out?
Probably would.
Cauterize it shut? Yeah, that's a bad.
Yeah,
fucking-
and
That's
then
what
you
it
have
would
to
do.
fucking urinate.
That's
and
why
it
you
just
wouldn't be able to
blows
get
up,
them pregnant anymore.
and your dick just becomes a giant water balloon of piss and semen.
Then you got to get a metal tube and stick it down in there, and then pull out the little like the cauterized flesh round.
What
Ick.
And
What's
then you
that
can
porn
chew
called?
like a piercing needle.
What's
You
that?
can chew on it, you sick fuck.
What's that porn called where they stick needles down your dick?
Sounding.
What the fuck is that?
Hold
shit,
on.
dude?
Let's hear why Cody knows that.
I know all kinds of horrible shit. Snowballing and
What's snowballing?
spit and come back and forth between you. Don't act like you don't.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
That was Pat's nickname in high school.
Snowball? I guess I never knew what it meant.
Yeah,
What does it mean?
I know all kinds of gross.
What's
fucking
snowballing?
Porn shit. It's when you spit cum between two. It doesn't have to be two girls, but every time I've seen it, they snowball cum between their mouths. Just make out with the jizz, and then that's snowballing. And then
I
there's
always heard that as mouth
felching.
swapping.
Felching is where you slurp the cum out of orifice. Yeah, I know all kinds of horrible shit. Yeah, so sounding is when they take like metal instruments and insert them into your fucking urethra, and then
God, how would that feel? How does that feel good?
Thank
I've
you.
had kidney stones.
I don't know.
Thank
And I
you,
don't even
Albert
want to
Fish.
ever think about that. It makes me want to gag right now, dude.
Because you're not an Albert Fish.
Imagine someone sticking a
Albert
thing down
Fish.
your dick.
Albert Fish is a serial killer for our listeners that aren't informed.
Oh my god.
In the early 1900s. He
Basically started that shit.
tell us about Albert Fish if you're not aware of this. Listen to this story. Do you know who Albert Fish is?
Nah,
Pat?
explain.
Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, tell this story real quick because it's fucked.
He was
You
a
tell
fucking psychopath.
Tell him about all the needles inside of him and
Oh,
shit.
okay. Well, he fucking would he slid needles underneath his skin, underneath his nails, in his body, in his hips, in his waist bone, and around his
And his
collarbone,
penis.
and his
Wait,
like
why?
a fuckload in his penis, because it got him off.
He would kill and eat children, all kinds of fucking horrible
What?
shit. And he was an old grandpa type character. Like,
Give me
he
the
was-
whole deets.
His parents raised him as a piece of filth, and as a actual toilet, they pissed and shit on him and beat him enough to where he actually just like eventually got off of it to escape it, I guess.
Dude, that's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, dude.
Needles?
Except I think he started originally with the basis of roses.
He went over to China and he saw people butchering I think it was during one of the depressions in China. They were butchering children for meat. And he had tasted his first flesh over there. He had talked to somebody that did. And then he brought that back over to the United States with him and started killing American children.
How many kids
eat
do
all
you-
the
how
China
many
children
kids
you
did he eat?
want, but when you come over to America and start eating these American children, I don't know. It was a few.
Look at a picture of him.
He looks like an old crazy grandpa
What's his
guy.
name?
But they X-rayed him. Albert Fish. They look up Albert Fish X-ray.
Fischer. Are we
It's
gonna
not
get on
Fisher.
some dark shit?
It's Fish. We can't.
Oh wait, I don't know
Gives a
why I
fuck.
said ER.
Talk about whatever we want.
Albert Einstein? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
He
actually.
ate children?
Yes.
And stuffed needles in his penis. Type
That's-
in X-ray.
That's how he got so smart.
Wait,
Sounds like
X-ray?
that movie with Dee Snider, Strangeland. Have you seen that?
No, what is that?
Dee Snider is like this weird,
He's the lead singer of Twisted Sister.
yeah, but he's like,
Oh my god.
it's like all tatted up and sticks needles in himself to get off, and he's like a killer.
Spin this picture around. They did multiple X-rays of Albert Fish, and you just have like it looks like little tiny like fucking the nails that you use for like
Acupuncture.
or just the little nails that you use to put boards together or whatever.
It looks like he got in a very bad fight with
A porcupine.
a porcupine, and it fucked him up. Ew, his neck's fucked too.
Can't believe you never heard of Albert Fish. How do we start talking about this?
We were talking about scabby
shit.
eyes, and then it
Sounding.
just...
Talking about
Sounding and then
weird
Albert
porn.
Fish, yeah.
All right.
Sure shit.
Well, he's nasty as fuck.
Yeah, he is. Dude, if you want to see a really gross serial killer photo, you look up the BTK selfies.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
yeah,
I
that's
don't
some
know.
shit.
Fuck the BTK. Speaking of dark shit.
Is that rap group?
Yes.
Yeah. BTK. It stands for. Oh, well, I can't say it because it's. Yeah. All right. Anyways, the Bind Torture Killers. What was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, dark shit. So the Avengers, the new one. Bring
Yeah.
it fucking full circle. Nice
So-
segue, Cody.
Big spoilers coming ahead. We just all saw Infinity War. We've been talking about it for almost every episode. We mentioned it, I believe. But it finally arrived, and we've all seen it. And I'm so fucking happy it's here.
We
Woo! I'll clap. So I
Yeah,
was fucking
so-
waiting.
10
tried
years
to
for this.
fucking.
Super nerd moment.
We tried to get Star Wars to happen, but I just wouldn't go and see it in theaters, so we never got to talk about it. And now
what we do.
finally,
I didn't either.
Now finally, we all fucking got together and saw this movie like week of it happening and shit. When did you see it, Pat?
Well, I just saw it on Monday.
True shit.
Yeah.
You saw it recently. Me and Sean just went and saw it today.
I saw it Thursday, the
Is
day
it-
before it came out.
did you by the end of we're going to talk about all kinds of fucking spoilers for this thing, so just turn it off now if you don't want to.
You might want
it.
to turn it off. We'll give a time frame at some point and leave it in our intro about when we're talking about it, so that way you guys can hear our man-to-mans at the end. But right from here on out, we're going to talk about spoilers. So we're going to give you 3 seconds right now to pause it. 1, 2,
Ding,
3.
ding, ding.
All right, so when Spider-Man died.
So Spider-Man fucking died. What the fuck?
Holy shit, dude! That was
Oh my god,
Mr.
dude.
Stark, I don't
half
feel
of
so
everybody else.
Yeah. But they made
Half
fucking
the universe died, actually.
Let's talk about it from the beginning. All right, so Doctor Strange is fucking awesome.
That's my dude.
He is awesome.
I've never seen like the last 8 Marvel movies, so my only experience with this has been this last Infinity War.
One of my favorite things that they finally did with Doc Strange recently, recently as in the movie, was that they got rid of the sling ring bullshit.
He doesn't have a sling ring?
Not in the comics, no. He's the teleporter guy of the team.
Well, he's Sorcerer Supreme now.
Yeah.
So he can just make these portals whenever. He can
like,
do whatever.
bend reality, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a magical cape that follows him around and shit.
Yeah, but the ancient one in his movie needed a sling ring too.
That's some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta see Doctor Strange when you can, Cody, because that's a solid movie.
It's
on
phenomenal.
Netflix.
I gotta see like Thor Ragnarok. I gotta see Winter
Yes, you
Soldier.
do.
I gotta see-
Ragnarok is one of the best
It's
ones.
probably the
I like
best one.
that.
I gotta see Iron Man 3.
It's one of them. I like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 are probably my favorite.
I saw those. I love those.
Until Infinity War. Infinity War is definitely my
So
favorite.
I didn't think he was gonna get
Shit
all the
got
damn
dark.
stones, dude. I didn't think he was gonna get all the
didn't
stones
either.
immediately.
I
They
didn't either.
he fucking got all the stones and killed
Why did-
50% of everybody in the universe.
Why the fuck did Doctor Strange surrender that fucking time crystal?
I believe because he said he experienced the war
One
and outcome
reality.
14 million times.
Yeah.
And the one reality he was supposed to in one reality they won, and I think in that one reality
That's
that
what
was
I
a
was
step
thinking.
in the right direction, was to just hand over the
Because
stone.
Tony Stark has to live. Because Tony Stark's going to be the one that's going to take this whole thing full circle. Since
Yeah.
he started it, he's going to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. I would
So-
have to I've been so far behind on the Marvel universe recently. I guess I don't have all like the clues and all the fucking like.
Well, let
all
me
the shit
fill
that
you
guys
in.
have. Sure.
Let's do it.
Well,
Let's start.
I mean,
Okay,
So let's
real
start from the
question.
beginning. Let's start from the
Give me a
beginning.
question.
We just went from the end to the middle to the fucking beginning.
That's cool.
to the-
That's fine.
So much
Alright,
to talk about.
That's fine.
So I thought it was just crazy. How did they breathe on Titan?
That's a very good question.
What? So since
Well,
there was
Thanos
civilization,
is like a humanoid.
so they must have terraformed the planet, don't
Suspension
you
of
think? The moon?
disbelief.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably that. Comic book science.
Wait, what is Titan supposed to be in our solar system?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
on
Titan?
Saturn.
Yes.
That's what
Oh.
I was
Saturn's
thinking.
moon.
I was like,
Oh.
that's Saturn's moon, isn't it?
What the fuck? Okay, so the whole time I was thinking this is some made-up fucking planet that they came up with. I didn't realize that it was like the moon of Saturn.
No, it's the moon.
Plot holes.
So how'd you guys feel about the Black Order?
The
Oh,
Black
dude,
Order?
I loved them because they were. Well, a lot of them have been in the comics for a long time, but recently they were in what this movie is partially based off of, Infinity, back in 2015, and they displayed the full Black Order, the team, and they lived up to it.
Well, there was one they were missing.
Even with looks.
There was one that they were missing. I forgot his name, but it was one of the one. There was 5 of them altogether, but they only used 4 in the movie.
Are you guys talking about the children of Thanos?
Well,
Yes.
Well, Thane is Thanos' son, and I think that's going to have a little bit to do with the next movie.
Thanatos, yeah.
Yeah. But there was 5 of the Black Order, and one of them wasn't used for some reason.
They refer.
Well, Thanatos is, or Thanos is looking to kill his son.
Yeah.
in
If
the
you can
movie,
stop
though,
him.
they referred to him exclusively as the children of Thanos. I never heard the Black Order. Did they say
Yeah.
the Black Order?
They're adoptive children, basically.
Okay, was this
Right.
one like Ragnarok or something that I missed?
So
No, none of
Nebula,
them were in any movie up until that point.
Yeah, Nebula and Gamora, for example, are considered "quote unquote" children of Thanos, but they were
yeah,
adopted.
I know.
Yeah.
I love. How did you guys feel about that scene? By the way, that
I
shit,
was like, they're gonna kill her off. I was like, shit, they wouldn't kill any of the Guardians off.
no,
Little
dude.
did I
I'm
know
talking
they'd kill
about
them
the.
all.
I'm talking about the flashback scene to like her being a child and
Yeah,
Thanos.
that was one of the best parts to me.
I
And
thought
he
it
was
was
like
phenomenal.
shielding her. He was like shielding her from the war going on in the background. Trying
It wasn't
to keep
even
her
a war. It
distracted.
was they were just
It was extermination.
extermination of half the planet. He was just like, she went to turn around, and then like that preacher dude's like telling him, he's doing his little spiel about like, now you guys are all children of
Ebony
Thanos,
Maw.
and you'll be able to live for a greater purpose, and you will be remembered. And then fucking she like goes to turn around. And he was like, no, pay attention, concentrate. And she's got the little thing inside of her hand, that little spear that she uses to fuck people up. And then you just hear everybody get devastated, just shot on all at once. I was like,
that was
holy fuck, they're going dark for this movie.
How'd you feel when he beat the shit out of the Hulk?
Not surprised.
Expected.
Right.
Yeah,
Expected.
that was pretty wild though.
I've seen a few people beat up the Hulk now.
What I didn't expect was for them to brutally and graphically choke Loki to death and have his eyes bleed and his ears bleed.
I was not expecting
within
that.
minutes of the movie starting. I was like,
amazing.
holy
Like, damn,
fucking
they just
shit.
killed off Loki.
Which raises another question, because if you've seen Thor Ragnarok, which
Haven't.
Cody hasn't, there's a character in there named Valkyrie, and I want to know if she died in the
Russo
exchange, the
brothers.
battle, or if she was part of the
50?
Yeah, the surviving Asgardians that sent the SOS signal to S.H.I.E.L.D. in the first place.
The Russell brothers stated that she is alive.
Dope.
But they did not state where her whereabouts are at that particular time, or what's the rock guy?
Korg.
They don't know where those guys are. They might be on some other mission for all we know at the particular time. But they are alive. Is
Korg
all we know.
rules.
But
Now-
yeah.
I'm sorry, did they have Thanos in any other Marvel movie? Is this his first
Yes.
introduction?
Avengers, the first one, he's at the very end credits. He's at the end credits.
Isn't he just searching for
of, like,
He's in a
Infinity
Guardians
Stones?
movie.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
But he's just
too,
searching for Infinity Stones in the after credits, right? He's not like actually a character in the thing.
He's like basically pulling all the strings. He's like the mastermind. Basically, his whole thing is that he wants to even out the galaxy because his planet got fucked up over his own mistake.
I
So,
understood that
yeah.
from the thing, and what I wanted to touch on, me and Sean were talking about when we left the movies. I loved how he was as an antagonist, because he was so like morally ambiguous, because he was almost kind of like justified in everything that he was
thought
doing.
he was doing the
like,
right thing.
He was like, there's only so many resources, and he was like, I'm not talking about genocide as in a race. He was like, it's completely random, 100%, and even my own people, I suggested it for that thing. Go ahead, Luke.
Oh no, keep going.
And I just love that, like, he's not actually like a fucking, he's like an anti-hero, and I really appreciated how like morally ambiguous it was, and how like there's like almost a conflict within like who you should root for a second, and it made him such a more compelling character for me. Go ahead.
And I do like that. That was an excellent point. But that's the one cool thing that I like that they changed about the comic storyline. They made him a likable villain.
Did they not have that in the actual in the comics?
No, in the comics he's trying to appease death, like actual death that
God
greets
of
all
death.
people
I
when they
understand.
dead. Yeah, in the Marvel universe, death is a female that he is in love with because he just cannot seem to die. So he's trying to appease her so she can finally welcome him with her embrace, and to appease her, he goes around to wipe half of existence with the Infinity Gauntlet. In the comic
that would have
books,
been a cool storyline.
in the comic books, he does it instantly, like right at the beginning of the event, and like you see children die, like disappear from baskets, like right in the very beginning. Daredevil's dead, like right away, just disappears.
I felt like the
Mary
snap
Jane.
was a little underwhelming in a way. I mean, I liked it a lot, but it felt like it kind of like it was that easy. That's what makes it so cool. It was that he just snapped his fingers right as Thor like slashed him. So he should have aimed for the head, and he just snapped his fingers, and
he went
it was
into that
just,
dream world with Gamora as a child, and he's laying in the water or whatever.
That's the soul gem.
I think no. I
That's
think that's
inside the soul
supposed to
gem.
be the Marvel's MCU's interpretation of death.
So he did die for a second, and then like it pulled him out of death. Is that what you think that's?
He was in some sort of like mid state because, as you can see, the damage that was done to him afterwards.
Gamora turns around and
this-
she's like, "Did you do it?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did it." And it was like, "What did it cost you?" It cost me everything.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
like,
his gauntlet
that's some
got
powerful shit. Then he
destroyed.
comes back and the gauntlet's all fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, it got destroyed, and then he snapped himself back into another portal wherever, which I thought was kind of weird. How the movie had ended with all these people, like Black Panther, and like people that just had billion-dollar movies.
Pay attention. It was the original Avengers team that was left.
Yeah, they're gonna die next one for sure.
No, they're not.
They're gonna bring everybody
I
back.
bet everyone comes back.
110%. They're
They're
gonna
gonna bring
bring
everyone back.
everybody back.
Everyone
there's no way.
pre-snap
In
is
the
dead for
in
sure.
the end credits,
Yes,
Sam
probably.
Jackson, his reaction when he was just like motherfucker.
But he
Just
didn't
like,
get the fuck
the
out.
Fact,
I
the
would
fact
love
that it was just funny, like it ended with him like dying in a funny way, it makes me think that everybody's gonna come back.
Exactly, it was
they're
weak.
taking their
I think
deaths
anybody
so
that's
lightly.
after the snap that got
They're taking
dissolved,
the deaths
they're coming
very
back.
lightly in the movie, and it's not a big deal except for Spider-Man. He's the only dramatic death, really.
That's what I was just about to touch on, because Pat said that the snap wasn't traumatic, and you're right. It was like these people just fade to dust. But they said Spider-Man, how are they gonna do my boy like that? Because he's like, oh, Mr. Stark, like I'm gonna WWE it up a
It
little bit.
broke my
but
heart for
he's
sure.
like, it's so cold, I feel it. Oh no, like he gets the longest fucking like suffering horrible death. Like Nick Cage's death is just like motherfucker, and then it's comical. He just floats away and he's gone. With Spider-Man, he's like embracing Tony Stark and he's fucking slowly dying. And he sets him down on the ground. And he was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And I was like, you fucking serious? Like you cocksuckers didn't do this to anybody except for my dude. What you mean? He's like 16 years old and shit. Like this is some fucking
That's
bullshit.
why.
Did you think that moment when Tony got stabbed that was it for him?
Yes,
Did you think
I
that he
did.
was fucked?
Yeah,
I was
same.
like, no! Like, it was so quiet.
I
was
thought
like,
he was
no.
the one who died or
Yep.
something.
I thought that's how they were finally going to decide the deaths with Captain America and Tony Stark. They were going to kill Iron Man in movie 1. They were going to kill Captain America in movie 2.
Did y'all know that it was going to be that many fucking deaths, though? Did you
No.
think it was just going to be like
No.
one important death?
I thought it was gonna be
2,
1 or 2
maybe
big
3.
deaths.
Yeah.
And it was like half of them.
I was like, God damn, they're all gone. Like, they're all gone. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, the entire Guardians of the Galaxy, except for, what's the raccoon dude's name?
Rocket
Rabbit.
Raccoon.
Yeah, so except for
yeah,
him,
they
he's
called him Rabbit.
every last one of them. Dave Bautista and fucking Star, whatever the fuck is his
Star-Lord.
name.
Drax, Star-Lord.
Who fucked it all up?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all his
Star-Lord
fault.
fucked this
Yep.
whole thing up
Yeah, we
because
were saying
they
that.
almost had the glove off, dude. I couldn't believe that plan even worked on Thanos in the first place.
Oh, dude, that
It
that
shouldn't
plan
have.
has worked a number of times in the comic books.
Well, there's so many of them using all their powers on him at once.
Yeah, but
like,
he controls all of reality with the touch of his fingers.
well,
so
they're
Yeah.
distracting him, and he can't focus on using the glove.
he could have just changed it.
Well,
and, like,
every time he uses it, it's when he has a second to use it. He doesn't. He can't.
That's
just
where you
use
have
it
to
out of nowhere unless he's
suspend
like
belief.
premeditating the action.
I was fine with suspending disbelief for it, but it was totally fucking. I was like, if you can turn back time now, like you can fucking change everything now. You control all reality, but you can't stop these dudes from. You can't build an indestructible barrier and then fucking shoot them out into space
Yeah,
and then
like-
whatever the fuck you want to do, make them explode on impact. Like
He
you could
could.
turn bullets into bubbles. You could turn a person into bubbles then.
Yep.
But so I was fine with like suspending the belief there, but it was totally.
Well, every time he
nonsense.
did something, he had to do a hand gesture with the glove on.
Yeah, so they always like made him not close his hand. What I thought was interesting is like when he got down to Wakanda finally, and he was fighting his way through all the Avengers, and Captain America came up to him. I was like, oh my god, now this is it. But he didn't die. He just got knocked the fuck out. But when Wanda killed Vision, which I was always curious because I thought she was going to be the ace in the hole for the movie, because since she had that power, like let's say in Civil War, she shoved Vision down into the ground when Hawkeye was coming to rescue her because of the Mind Stone and glue it up. So I was thinking, why didn't she have the ability to do the same thing to Thanos' gauntlet as she could with Vision? Maybe she just didn't think about it at the time. But she killed Vision there, and then he just turned back time to come back and kill him again. That was just fucking wild.
Either she doesn't understand how to fully use her powers, or the MCU has made her like cripplingly weak compared to her comic book counterpart. Because she can literally change reality with 3 words.
That's wild.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
she said no more mutants, and then all of reality changed. They wiped out all of existence with mutants.
That's crazy.
Like they were then made like just non-existent, just gone.
How does that storyline play out?
Oh, well, in that storyline, instead of no more mutants exactly, it was the world was run by mutants and they hunted humans.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
It was
so they weren't
ridiculous.
mutants; they were just regular people. Since there's only mutants, that
Yep.
makes fucking sense.
Well,
All right,
I mean,
that's good.
basically, if you think about it in the comics, they're supposed to be the next step in evolution.
That's true. That's very true. We're getting off the topic though.
Yep,
We're getting off
yep.
the
Yeah.
topic.
I'm getting dorky.
Either
It's all
way,
good.
Infinity War is fucking awesome. I was so happy to see it. It was definitely one of my top movies ever.
Without a doubt.
I can't wait to see it again with some subtitles. But it was definitely more funnier than I thought it would be. I would really like it to be a little bit more serious.
I like the humor though. I
I
like.
did
like
too. I had a good
It's
time.
well balanced. Like him and or
when Drax was
Iron Man and Star-Lord bickering about a plan against Thanos. Like, it was serious, but it still had the quips along with it. you know, or Star-Lord casually dropping hints about how he's so much better than Thor or better looking.
Right.
And
I love how good Marvel is about doing it. Like, they're not quite dad jokey, but they're not quite real life, like the way that a joke would play in real life. It's like a fucking comic book. It's like the type of quick shit that they would say back and forth.
Right.
And like, if you
Comic
think about
books are funny.
Yeah, exactly. And there's good writers in there. So I like that. And DC doesn't have fucking any of that. It's all just serious, brooding, fucking darkness. And like, I'm fine with like getting it dark, but like, they call each other fucking douchebags in the new Avengers movie. They say like asshole regularly. They're calling each other shitheads. And I was like, if you can say these words, then we're living in the real world with fucking crazy comic book shit going on. So it makes me like it more. I didn't want them to be any more serious because I feel like that's what DC gets wrong about fucking these comic books.
Oh, DC gets a lot wrong with their fucking
with their movies.
Yeah, I liked how Captain America didn't really have too much to say, or like let's say Black Widow, because they're so straightforward.
He looked like
people.
a washed up goth.
I mean, I thought he was pretty cool, but I felt like the acting was a little. It could have been a lot better for it, or maybe it just was shot a little weird. But I like that he wasn't as big of a character because basically, you know, he just faces a problem and it's just there. But I really like the idea that no one on Earth knew who Thanos was, and it was such a big thing. Like Iron Man's like, what was his name again? Yeah. And they would just tell him, and he just came over there and fucked everyone up. It's just fucking crazy.
Or Banner with Doc Strange. Thanos is coming. Who?
Banner was like almost like in tears because he was so scared of him, and that's like crazy for the Hulk. Just crazy ass movie. I got to see it again.
Let's talk about why the Hulk was a big bitch for a second.
He got his ass whooped.
Yeah, but why did he was like just cowering? Oh, I don't want to come out.
Do you think he would have died if he
fucking
fucked up?
No?
He was being a big baby bitch, and that was annoying me the whole fucking movie.
There better be a damn good explanation as to why he didn't in the next film, because that dude does not. He doesn't quit. He doesn't get a sad personality. He's the strongest. He gets angrier if he's not, and when he gets angrier, he gets stronger. So eventually, he gets better than them.
What I think they're building up to, because these movies are supposed to be a 3-part trilogy: Thor Ragnarok and this, and then the next Avengers movie is the end of this trilogy. It's kind of like in a movie in a movie. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to end up combining themselves, where it's going to be Banner's personality inside the Hulk's body. You get what I mean?
Yeah, that's an existing Hulk personality.
So I think that would be something that would
Doc
happen.
Samson.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So maybe that's what they're building to. That way the character lives on forever.
You should look up, but the Hulk has a number of different personalities, especially a gangster. He carries around Tommy guns and he's in a suit.
Mm-hmm. Sean was making a point about the Hulk thing to me before that I couldn't entirely remember. Do you want to make that point again? From the Ragnarok
like
thing
in
that happened?
Ragnarok, all the shit that happened with the Hulk and Ragnarok, that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to be back to his old life.
He was the Hulk for like 4 years or something.
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
2 years straight. He
was
probably
a champion.
Fucked him up. Probably had like Hulk PTSD.
Nah, he probably got mass pussy, dude.
Yeah,
Hulk probably got mass pussy because he was the champion on Garbage World.
Yeah, Hulk smash.
Hulk smashed. Yeah, Hulk smashed.
Ba-doops.
All right, so let's go into the last part of this subject. I wish I could keep talking about Infinity War, but we also have other things we need to talk about, and I'm sure other people who haven't seen it want to hear our man-to-mans. So, Sean, this is... Man-to-Man! Fuck you, god damn it! You ready? Let's do it. Man-to-Man! That was awesome.
So important.
It's very important.
Can we pre-record this fucking thing so that we...
Yeah, we probably should.
It'll be way easier. We just press a button. All right, go ahead.
So, Sean, would you, if you were going to get all the powers of the Infinity Gauntlet, but you only could get it through 2 ways. One is shoving an entire stick of butter up your asshole in front of everyone.
The most lubricated product of all time.
Everyone is watching.
The universe
it's
has
like
to
that
see it.
First episode of Black Mirror where the guy had to fuck a pig, but it's
I haven't seen it. No spoilers, bro.
Oops. Well, you have to shove a whole big stick of butter up your asshole. Or you have to...
Snort drywall with your penis.
Oh, yeah. Snort. You have to lick up... you have to snort drywall. You have to snort a shit ton of drywall, like a whole pound of it. You have to snort a whole pound of drywall, or shove a whole stick of butter up your asshole in front of everyone, and you get the Infinity Gauntlet powers.
For sure, the
butter. Duh.
Yeah, I'm going butter all day.
My fucking god.
2 sticks of butter.
Why you can't just up
Let's
the
see.
butter
I want to
count?
see. I want to see how much it takes. How much butter it takes for you to change your mind.
You could
Dude,
shove-
it's lubricated and your butthole's warm. Right.
I like how you're looking back and forth like, dude, I don't know, 2 sticks of butter?
Yeah,
You could
as long as they're not side by side and they're one after another, I feel like I'll be all right. It'll just melt and leak on out.
You have to like link them
I'll get a
together,
nice
like,
butter cleanse.
If you worry about damage, you can heal it, and if you worry about anyone judging, you can wipe their fucking minds.
My
You're
hemorrhoids will be
lubricating the old plumbing.
Yeah, exactly. My hemorrhoids would be great. Like it'll just slide on through like a slip and slide asshole. I'd love the butter one.
In
You
fact,
wouldn't
I'm
even
coming
do
in
that
when I
like
get
You
home
can't even
tonight.
control the shits anymore. They just kind of slide out.
I'll film it, but I
They're
can't
covered in
promise
butter.
everyone will watch.
I mean, no, the thing is like it's not coming back out anytime soon. When you shove it all in there, it's just gonna stay in your body and until like maybe a week
No,
later,
it
probably.
No, it won't. It's gonna melt. I have a warm butthole, Patrick.
This is how
This is
it's.
special butter. I made it myself.
Okay,
Cody.
it might.
It doesn't melt.
You have to hold it. You have to hold it. You
This is
have to hold it.
resistant butter.
It turns into a liquid.
Yeah, but you
In
hold
this
it.
reality, your butthole can sufficiently house butter sticks.
Yeah,
It's a frozen
you
stick
have
of butter, and you're in the
you have-
fucking tundras.
the tightest asshole around. You know, like
I don't like where you're
nothing's
going with
getting
this.
out of this.
How, you implying I don't already, Patrick?
So let's
what do you
say,
know about my butthole?
So a pound of drywall or 35 sticks of butter.
both in your asshole. Wait,
Yeah,
was
and
one
one
going
after
in?
another, like linked sausages.
My
I
God.
don't.
They're
where
going
did the
all
link
in.
sausages
Why
come
did you smile until like that? Like sausages.
Because you know they slide in one after another. You know,
Link
choo-choo
butter
train,
sausages.
baby. So what
Are
do
you
picking?
saying my asshole can produce breakfast?
Maybe.
It's definitely expelled prior breakfast.
I'd say they'd be replacing the movie popcorn butter
Would you
machine
eat
with
my
your
asshole breakfast?
Yeah, I would.
You
On
would?
my popcorn for Infinity War.
All right.
But so 35 sticks of whole butter, or like one after another, and you have to hold it all in your asshole. You clench it tight.
Hold it in there for what, Pat? Are you saving it like a fucking squirrel saves acorns? You
Yeah.
know, for the
I'd
butter
still
apocalypse.
choose the butter because
Good
I
point,
won't
good point.
die.
No
You got-
worries,
you
I got
gotta
all
hold
this
it.
butter stuffed
The
in my
drywall
butthole.
would kill you.
You have to hold all this butter in you for like a week, dude. You can't shit for a week.
I got my butt butter.
You gotta hold it
There's
in for a
no-
week, dude. A whole
There's no
week.
room for poops. I too much butt
Yeah,
butter in
So
there.
think about
do
it.
that.
You have to think long and hard. This is a lot of fucking butter. Think 810 calories
This is
per
not
stick.
a hard choice. I would still choose the butter.
What
Yeah.
if it's 100 sticks of butter?
God damn, Pat! I don't think that you could fit
You
100
can't
sticks
fit-
of butter. 100 sticks, Pat? That's a lot of butter.
You would then be sitting on like a pat of
man,
butter.
This man is high right now.
We got
Oh my
Pat too
God.
high before. Look
That
at
is
that
so
empty glass
funny.
of cranberry vodka. This is why Pat's got this fucking.
Oh
we
my
got
God.
Pat
Are
drunk
we even
before
gonna
this.
last the second podcast?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna be
of course.
stumbling.
No, I'm good. I'm just having a good time. I'm just picturing like Sean holding his asshole so hard because he has 35 sticks of warm butter in his stomach and he can't shit for a week, and it just makes me laugh thinking about that.
Is that what it makes you do? I think it makes you rock hard. I can see your pants right now, Pat. They look like they're quite full of blood as we
It's
speak.
going to be plenty of lubricant
Yes.
for later tonight.
if you ever want to go on a date, you know.
So did you make a decision?
I could like,
He's going butter all day. That's what he
Yeah.
said.
and then like if someone needs butter on their popcorn, I could just kind of squat over it, and
In
I
the
wouldn't.
movie
I wouldn't
theater.
need to like clench a muscle or anything. It would just fall out. No,
That's fucking nasty.
just drip out of there.
That's how my poop already comes out. It's just kind of.
Yeah. So you pick the butter no matter the quantity.
Come on, Pat. You can't just keep fucking
Is that
changing
it?
up the butter one. Can
No
we do
matter
it?
what the quantity is, you're just picking the butter.
The butter infinity tub.
How do you snort drywall and survive?
Right.
You survive.
You
When
do.
you do it, you survive. I'll say that. You're going to survive either way.
And then what? You get
Either-
coal miner
but
lung
you
and
won't.
die shortly after.
Either you're going to have an entire stomach full of 35 sticks to 100 sticks of butter, or you're just going to snort a little bit of drywall, like a pound of it.
And then you
A
go to
pound.
the doctor, and the doctor looks at your X-rays, and he's
You don't
like,
even
"Well,
make
son."
it to the doctor.
He's
Why do
like,
you have
"Well,
so much
son,
butter
you're
in
a
you?"
fucking idiot, so you're dead." And he throws your files in the trash and
He
tells you to
grumbles-
get the fuck out. But
He like grumbles up the paper and tosses it behind him, like, well, you're fucked. That's
well,
some
it
funny
says
shit.
here you're a guy, you're an asshole. Yeah.
That is some
Got
good
butter
shit.
in the ass.
Do you guys have any funny man-to-mans you can think of right now?
Yeah, man to man. Would you rather have scabs encasing your teeth, like a second pair of gums, scabs, and
Scabby teeth.
and they break off when you bite down and chew, and when you move your lips around on your gums too much, And they grow back, too, every 12 hours. They re-scab over your teeth.
Can you pick them off?
Yeah, you can pick them off. It's going to be gross as fuck, though.
Ew, but wow. So when you eat, is it flaky?
I mean, if you didn't clean your teeth prior of all the scabs.
How do you clean your teeth?
How are you forming scabs on your teeth with no blood pockets underneath?
You just do, bud.
They just growing out?
Yeah, they ooze out of your gums and they just like loop around.
Like little scab lanterns over your fucking teeth.
Yep.
Think of it as like a snake skin, but a scab skin over your teeth. You get what I'm saying?
That or your feet.
Good man to man, Luke. He sounds so confident going into it. It was like, anybody have a funnier one? And Luke was like, I absolutely do. So would you rather have scab teeth or feet? Hold on. I already have feet. I must reconsider. I don't mean to offend our footless listeners.
Or feet that scorch the earth at 120 degrees on everything you stand.
120 degrees isn't that hot.
Wait, they scorch the earth?
Yes.
What do you mean? Like they burn everything
They burn everything you're standing on.
Right through your shoes, right through
Yeah,
your
120 degrees.
How do you stop?
You're not burning anything at 120. That's like a hot car, Luke.
Yeah, that's like
You
a
can survive and then
120
scorch the
degrees.
earth with 98 degree feet. Oh, you mean body temperature feet, Luke? Yeah. You have a fever, though.
120 degree body? They'd be
You
fucking
caught the
dead,
flu.
bud.
You caught the
So you're
spring
saying
flu.
you would die with these hot feet?
No. I'm saying you
Are
would
your feet
exist.
always sweating? Like, I mean, I'm curious. Are they on fire or are they?
Your
120
body has
degrees is not hot.
clearly evolved itself to sustain the heat of hot feet, Patrick.
This fire has evolved to withstand 120 degrees.
Yep.
For example, I cooked.
I don't
up a
even think
pizza.
there's flames at 120 degrees.
There are 110% flames at 100.
Can you look that shit up?
No, I cannot.
Can you please look it
Because
up?
I am probably wrong.
He's so wrong.
That's so wrong. I made a pizza earlier and I had to heat it up to 400 degrees. So you're
That's
telling
a
me
pizza.
Yeah, there's not even a flame with that.
I'm sorry, listeners. There's an airplane taking off in Pat's front yard right now. The window's open. What the fuck,
Hot,
man?
dude. It's
Fuck.
fucking hot. There's so many sound issues.
You don't have air
tonight.
conditioning?
My landlord has to turn off the pilot light and
All right, so scabby
that.
feet or fire or scabby teeth
100
and fire feet.
120 degree feet.
Which is it?
Can you change the fucking temperature, Luke?
500,000 degrees.
Jesus
I'll
Christ.
go with the 120 degree feet.
There we go.
It's like standing on blacktop barefoot.
So are you gonna be able to sleep at night with that?
Like if it was like that at all times,
Yeah.
you'd probably get used to it. I take showers like super hot.
Currently, you do?
Probably hotter
Yes.
than 120 degrees, Luke.
That's absolutely not
That's
true.
what I'm
I think
thinking.
you are now severely undermining the severity of 120
What is
degrees.
boiling temperature?
You can't say severely and severity in the same fucking sentence and act like you're a smart guy, Luke.
Yes, I can.
Fuck you, Luke. I
Yes,
saw
I
your
can.
faux smart guy bullshit right there. I don't have more words than severe, severely.
Hey, I gotta try, don't I?
100 Celsius is
That's
boiling temperature.
Yeah, and 0 is freezing in Celsius.
Okay, and 32 degrees is 0 in
If you say Celsius, then yeah, you're right. It's hot as fuck.
let's just
I
picture
assume-
boiling.
That's
Shut
what
up,
I'm saying.
It's like I meant centigrade.
This boiling question, or Simon's looking it up.
I meant kelvins.
Yeah, exactly.
Kelvin, yeah.
What makes it hotter?
Oh, you want to eat Kelvin?
We want all of it, babe.
Can you give us a whole breakdown?
Faster,
Faster.
Simon.
Come on.
You're on the spot.
Jamie would have had it.
Young Simon.
Young Simon.
We'll call you Young Simon. I'll have you Google things and it'll take a while.
212 degrees Fahrenheit is boiling. 120 degrees ain't shit, dude.
I went with Celsius.
That's like going to Las Vegas, you know?
God damn. All right, well then 500,000 degrees.
What's
God, that's
what's
everything will
120
burst into
degrees
flames around you.
Celsius?
Yeah, what's 120 degrees?
Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Dead air.
248 Fahrenheit.
248 Fahrenheit. That's pretty
Killing
hot,
it.
right?
Killing it.
Dang.
Not that hot though.
Kill
I mean,
it.
there's definitely fire at that point.
Suck a dick, all three of you.
Yeah, it's like almost the lowest temperature in your oven. Okay, so
I got another one.
you know, scorch the earth with temperatures that can
So which
barely
is
cook
it?
a roast in under a day.
So which is it?
What was the alternative?
Scabby teeth.
It's I think it was
Scabby
butter
teeth.
in your butt butter.
Scabby teeth.
Scabby teeth.
I'll do
Lukewarm
the
feet.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound bad at all, to be honest. Like
You
compared
could
to
just
scabby
cut your
teeth.
foot off What are you gonna do if
Cut your foot
What are
off?
you gonna do if your teeth just grow scabs all day, and every time you eat, you're just eating scabs?
Or whenever
it's
you
just falling
smile.
apart in your mouth.
Ew.
You're getting it stuck to your lip
Yeah.
mid-conversation. You're spitting it on people.
It makes your butthole tight
Everyone
just
can
thinking
see
about
it. No one knows you have hot feet. They're like, your shoes kind of look melty. Like, that's the worst you've got.
They're smoldering.
Yo, what's up with your feet, dude? Why are you sweating so much? Like, what the fuck?
Like,
I
have you
ran
seen the
here.
Fantastic Four? That's my foot. It's a solid 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
I just got out of the sauna, so my feet are constantly warm.
They need someone to heat up the stew, and you're like, oh, I got it. And you just take off your shoe, and you just put your feet in the stew, and just fucking heat it up. Like, I got you, bud.
All right. Well, do we
I
have
got
any other fun
I got another
man-mans?
one. I got another one. Would you rather, Sean? And I need you to answer honestly, man to man. It's just us. You having a problem hearing? Hold on 1 second.
Give us a moment. Having
Can you
technical
hear?
difficulties.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Would you rather, man to man? Just us here, Sean. Would you rather?
Man to man.
Just us guys.
Just us.
You're
Would you
not-
rather have a delicious steak dinner that's cooked to the best quality if possible by the best chef in Cincinnati? No, Chef Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay makes it for you. And he even says sir and please and all that stuff. He's really polite to you. He's like your best buddy. Gives you his phone number and Twitter. Or you
Yeah,
have
that
to
makes
shove
the food
a
better.
whole stick of butter up your ass.
Wait, Sean's mic's not working. Can you play with the cord at the bottom? Just talk into it real quick.
Hello.
Okay,
There
he's
it is.
back.
So, would you rather have Gordon Ramsay make you the most delicious steak he's ever made, ever? And it's recorded on TV. It's going to be live on TV and everything. And you're going to get 10 grand because you were selected in it and you won a golden ticket. And everybody told you to run home and not show that ticket to anyone.
Or would you rather be addicted to heroin?
Or would you rather shove a whole stick of butter up your asshole?
And I got shitted on? Are you kidding me?
I don't think the Would You Rather segment really works.
Yeah, it does. Pick. You have to pick honestly. I have a feeling I know what you're going to pick.
The food. The delicious meal.
Well, the thing is with that, and here's the catch.
What the thing is.
When he makes you the steak, you have to shove that up your asshole too.
Is it medium
In
rare?
front of Gordon Ramsay.
Is it well done?
It's any way you want it. It's the perfect consistency.
Pat, what's your fetish with shoving things up your ass this episode? It's been
I
like
just-
every question. Would
I just
you
really like the butter
Didn't he
up,
do this
up your
last
asshole.
time?
Yeah, right from the gate, from the open gate, Pat was just like, what do you think of this song? Would you let this girl shove a ukulele in your asshole? Hey, have you ever had to take a shit? Would you ever shove your diarrhea water back into your asshole? So about the Avengers, would you let Thanos shove the whole Infinity Gauntlet into your asshole? The whole episode, Pat.
Would you let Thanos fist your ass
With his big, giant fucking gorilla hands.
with the
Purple
power
gorilla
stone?
hands.
Even though the fucking
So-
stub of his pinky is as big as your head.
So seriously though, like, what are you picking? Stick
God
up butter-
damn it, Patrick.
the
Everybody's picking
delicious
the
meal.
delicious meal, you
My
fuck.
fucking god.
Gay men are picking the delicious meal.
And that wraps up the episode, you
Oh
guys.
my god, what the fuck?
Oh, fuck. Does
All right,
anybody
guys.
else have anything? What was the one that I did for Mansfield? It was the 3 things playing in your head, or what was the other one that I said?
You like the horse teeth one.
No. The other one. The one that was like the 3 things.
Scooby-Doo?
Or Scooby-Doo voice?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck it. I don't remember. It's not going to be
You
funny
might
if I
as well
have to
ask
sit
him.
here and think about it.
Make a new one up. Just make it up on the spot. It's
Okay,
funny
okay,
that way.
Sean. Would you rather, the only thoughts that you could ever have at all times, you can have other thoughts, but this is always playing loudly into your, like the same volume that I'm talking in your ears right now. It's Amy Schumer, and she's monologuing loudly about her vagina. She's just like, yeah, and I let homeless men get up in there, and I mean, my clit's just broken. I mean, it's like a fucking dry desert down there.
It's like
just
a grilled
all
cheese.
Dried. It's like a grilled cheese sandwich. Open it up, and it's just the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of loads, and she's just monologuing about her vagina incessantly. It never stops, and it's the sound of fucking like when you run silverware on a plate or a chalkboard, and it's like, "Ee!" And there's somebody like jazz scatting, like like into your ears. All 3 of these sounds are playing all the time, and the only escape that you get from it is when you're sleeping. Like you don't get escape from it when you're trying to, but when you go to sleep, that's when like the sound stops. Either that or every single time that something awkward, or like if it could possibly be made awkward by you laughing, you have to laugh. And when you laugh, it's SpongeBob's laugh, but it's SpongeBob's laugh at like full fucking volume, as loud as you could yell it. Just like
Probably the thoughts, like hearing that Amy Schumer voice.
you wouldn't want to you wouldn't kill yourself after like minutes of dealing with this.
Probably not. No.
God, just
What?
imagine her.
It wouldn't be much
Yeah,
different.
my cooch. Yeah, my cooch was real scratchy this morning. My name's Amy Schumer.
I fuck teenage boys. Edgy jokes.
Yeah, vagina. My vagina
You guys
stinks.
are gonna get sued.
Allegedly,
Don't
her
sue
vagina
us.
stinks.
No, we can talk about how we don't like
Your jokes are weak.
shitty jokes.
Yeah,
but,
she's shit. She's
okay.
shit.
I'm sure she'll listen to this podcast and be very upset with us. I'm sorry.
She will.
Amy
She'll leave
Schumer.
a really negative review.
Yeah.
I feel like she would chill with us. She's one of us, you know.
These guys are
She's
shittier
one-
than my vagina.
She's one of the boys, at least.
Yeah, she's squad.
She's the enemy.
All right, do we have anything
the
else? Sean, do you have any would you rathers that you'd like to ask us?
That you can make up on the spot.
Makeup on the spot.
Come on,
All
let's
right.
hear it. Man to man. Man to man. Man to man. Man to man. Man to man.
What?
Would you rather let your girlfriend fuck a guy with a dick bigger than yours, or let
I'm hard
her
already.
fuck your dog?
Wait.
Wait, what? Okay, so either your girlfriend fucks a dude with a dick bigger than yours, or you gotta let your girlfriend fuck a dog?
Yes.
Well,
like
you have to watch.
My girlfriend's
Does she
a free
want
woman.
to?
She can fuck all the dogs she wants, Sean. I am a male feminist, and I believe women should be able to fuck dogs whenever
You
they
know
want.
what? You're right.
I'm not
It
a
was
penis.
It was a bad would you
I'm not a
rather.
man with a penis that
Well,
just
let me
tells
ask some
women they can't wear a
questions.
hoodie and do drugs and walk down the street.
She wants to fuck the dog?
She's totally into it, and she'll do it again in a second.
She says she's already done it?
My lord.
She probably has. But
She is not my girlfriend
She wants you
anymore.
to watch this time.
This is
She's
my
fucking
my
dogs?
first time. I never
If
done
you
this
don't
before.
watch me fuck the dog, I'm gonna go fuck a guy with a dick bigger than yours. Is what her words exactly.
So
Get right on
So
it, you
either
fucking
way, I'm
psychopath.
fucked. So I have to. So if I either way, if I picked like her fucking the dude with the bigger dick, she's gonna fuck that dude. And if I don't, I just
I'd be
feel
like,
I'm getting
beat
double
feet crazy. I don't have any interest in fucking with you anymore. Why isn't that
yeah,
an
I'd
option?
break up with her.
Go pound sand, sweetheart. I got other like things that I.
Or
could-
would you rather shove infinity butter up your ass?
All
Or
right.
let your girlfriend get fucked by a dude with a bigger dick.
All right, you guys, we're divulging into retardation.
Madness.
All right, I love you fuckers. Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah.
This has been a great fucking episode. Sean, thanks for doing it with us. On the next episode, I don't fucking know because we're going to release these in different times.
Yeah.
Outro is recorded afterwards. Do we have anything else to plug?
Thanks for recording the episode that's technically before this episode, after this episode.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that's what I started to say and realized that I couldn't word it in a way that would make any fucking sense.
Anyways, Sean, is there anything we can follow you on?
Do you want to
Facebook.
be followed?
Facebook, on Sean Moore.
like
Buy
to-
his
I-
computers.
I like to share a lot of memes.
And ducks with their heads on fire.
No,
No, he's
that's
not a.
not me.
He's not a Facebook cock tease.
No.
Nah. Anyways, check us out on Stitcher. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on iTunes. Check us out on Podcast Addict.
And don't worry, you'll hear all this again in the outro.
Yep, you're gonna hear it all straight from Luke, because I fuck it up.
Thanks, Luke.
That's fine.
Love you, folks. Good night.
What's up, you fucks? This is Cody. This is the part of the podcast where normally you'd hear an outro where Pat inevitably fucks our reads up. However, we decided to supply you some bonus content. The episode that you're about to hear is with our friends Simon Raver and Sean Moore. We recorded 2 episodes in one day, and this was going to be released after the Sean Moore episode. However, we had audio technical difficulties. I cleaned it up a little bit, so I edited it, and it doesn't sound as shitty as it just like cutting off mid-sentence as someone's fucking talking. You know, just usual technical difficulties, but I made it sound real clean at the end there for you. So enjoy this bonus episode. It's like 40 extra minutes, and it's a free podcast, so I can't imagine that you have any complaints. But if you do have complaints, feel free to send them to us, thebastardsermon@gmail.com, or through our Instagram page at thebastardsermon, or through the Facebook. You know where to find us, fuckers. Alright, enjoy the episode, as always.
Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon.
Another-
Ladies and gentlemen.
Exciting episode of the Bastard Sermon. My name is Patrick Seta, one of your 3 hosts.
I guess I'm Luke Young.
Hi, folks. I'm Cody Hucker. Pat, what the fuck was that intro, sir?
Yeah, you totally stole it from me.
I needed a little pizzazz, bro. Not from you. It was just I thought
apparently
it was
from me.
No.
All right, you guys. Boxing fight in the front yard. Now continue the episode while you guys duke this out.
All right. So I wanted to. We have a guest on tonight.
Two guests.
Two guests. One of them is Simon Raver. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
I'm glad you're here. And then Sean Moore.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Let's get right into it.
So I wanted to ask some questions. Simon, did you ever jack off to Princess Leia?
Oh, I'm sure.
Do you remember the first
Yeah.
time?
So many times I can't remember the first time.
My dude, I
mean,
feel
seriously, is that a real question? No, I have no idea how many times.
But you definitely have.
It's an
I'm
uncountable
sure,
number
yeah,
of times.
I have. I'm sure. Yeah.
Luke, have you masturbated to Princess Leia?
Nope.
Never?
What?
No.
You never thought that
I was
slave
born
girl
in
outfit was cool?
'93. I saw those movies of like.
I am a bit older.
Yeah.
You didn't jerk off to him like later in life? I'm not saying like as soon
Nope.
as you came out, you were like, oh, Star Wars movies are still relatively new. Carrie
Nope.
Fisher might still be jackable.
Nope.
What? Okay.
Carrie Fisher's not
All
that
right,
sexually attractive to me.
I mean,
That's cool. Not
everything.
even back in the day, though?
Nope.
Like Slave Leia?
Yeah,
What?
seriously, Slave Leia.
So what do you
I
think?
mean, she's fine, of course, but no. I mean,
What do you think Jabba saw?
I mean
in her?
that high waisted bikini, like
Nope.
like no, all right,
Nothing?
all right.
What did Jabba see in her?
Money.
Money?
Yeah, she was the princess of a planet. You could definitely get some money. From
New
her.
question,
The
Luke. What
planet
was,
exploded. Is she still a princess?
Yeah,
Where's
for
she
sure.
princess of at that point?
Right.
The
princess
The
of my
dust of
jizz when I
Alderaan.
paused that
No
VHS
longer
tape?
have a
The dust of Alderaan, dude. She rules it all.
If you had
Space
if you
dust.
had to choose between
I am the space dust.
snorting
queen.
the dust of Alderaan, a pound of it. I'm just.
I'm
kidding.
gonna kill myself.
I'm just kidding.
On
Dude,
this
don't bring up
episode.
fucking butter.
Yeah, please, God, Pat. No more shoving
I will
butter in
leave.
your butthole. We'll turn this
Alright.
episode off and walk away, Pat.
Everyone will hear about this in the next episode of what we were talking about there. But yeah.
How did you...
That's gonna be so weird and out of continuity.
Okay, so it never even slipped your mind. I've thought of all kinds of weird shit while I was jacking off, and I know at least 300,000 or 400,000 times it was Princess Leia. I mean, all kinds of weird shit creeps in there.
4,000 times.
Sometimes I start thinking about like birthday invitations I got from my grandma, and I was like, "Get that out of there!" Oh no!
What?
Whoa, easy, yeah,
Do you jerk out your memories?
yeah. Sometimes, not on purpose. Weird shit slips in there. The internet's off. There's a thunderstorm. It's dark. The only thing comforting me is my own hand, and you gotta put the imagination back to work. And,
Have you ever caught yourself forgetting events after you thought about them masturbating and never being able to remember them again?
Probably because they were too traumatizing for me to.
Oh my
To
god.
deal with the fact that I
God.
thought about that and came to it, that had to like blank that out of my memory forever.
I was not expecting that.
Speaking of Leia's slave costume and slavery, when we were downstairs taking our break,
Segways.
yeah, segues. We had a fucking. There was a tweet that popped up. Sean, you want to read the fucking or whatever it was, a news article?
I just remember reading something about Kanye West saying slaves had a choice.
Can we get into that
I don't have
fucked
the
up
article
topic a
pulled
little
up,
bit?
but I
What?
definitely just read that.
That dude's been a maniac recently.
That dude is a fucking crazy.
I've
person.
never
He's-
liked him.
Yeah, his music
What?
sucks.
I have
He
to agree.
seems to suck as a human being, and
His
now
He
early
says he's
album
God.
ruled.
He's like, he's got a God complex.
His first two albums ruled.
I liked
No, they didn't.
earlier Kanye.
For sure.
Yeah, he
For
had some
sure,
really good
early
music.
Kanye, yeah.
But then
the
what the
food,
You
when
know,
he
like
featured with
Jesus
Common,
Walks.
That was some good shit.
That was
Fire.
like his first hit single, right?
What happened, Kanye? What happened to you?
so he's
he
wearing.
married Kim Kardashian and was forcefully entered into the Illuminati. There he was then.
Okay.
They abducted him into the alt right.
Oh
and
my
then,
god.
And now
Now
he
he's
wears
wearing
I
a
mean, it
MAGA
could
hat.
be true, but we don't know that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
So Simon, did you ever see that
I'll
Kim
say that.
Kardashian porn?
Who hasn't?
I probably have masturbated to it a couple times.
don't
but-
lie and
but
say probably. You definitely
I-
jerked it to it.
I
several
have.
Times.
I have. I don't really remember it that well. It honestly didn't intrigue me that much.
What's the
It
weirdest
was
porn
boring.
you've watched?
It was boring. I'll give it that.
Weirdest
Good,
porn you've
good
watched?
question. Oh fuck! I don't know. I have to think.
If you had to pick
I
your
honestly have
favorite,
to think.
if you had to pick your favorite kind of incest porn, what would it be? Would it be like grandpa dad, or is it like uncle?
Or is it Uncle Daddy?
I mean, I know they're all good. I know that it's all like awesome, but like just pick one.
You
if
know,
you, have
you and
to.
your cousin, your stepbrother, or your stepsister.
I tend to. I honestly, I think I pick older women more. So unfortunately, that ends up being mother son, but it's mature women.
How
it's
old?
Mature women.
How old are we? What's the age range?
40s, 50s, 60s.
Whoa, you like jerking it to girls in their 60s?
If they're hot enough.
Holy shit! Let's get right into that.
You're in Helen. Come on.
What Helen?
You seen her in the bathtub?
No, dude, show me this. Pull this up on
Pull
your
a
phone
picture.
or something. Yeah, I'm so
Really?
curious.
Yeah, pull
hot
the picture.
60-year-old girl. Yeah.
Yeah, give me this shit.
I don't even
give me
believe
shit.
you
I like
right
this shit too.
Isn't Joe Rogan like 50 and that dude shredded to like the fucking
So
from
wait,
his head to his
Yeah,
toes?
but he's on steroids and fucking human growth hormone and shit.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
Simon-
he is. He talks about it on his podcast. He says there's nothing wrong with it. And I agree. It's great.
How old is Helen Mirren right now?
I don't even know who
Google.
Helen Mirren is.
you have to tell her age, you know.
Do you have to listen to that
I don't
weird
know.
fucking, like, when you fuck her, is there that weird music playing from the 20s, like, through that big, like, Edison fucking...
quarter. Right, my quarter.
Yeah,
So how often
I
do
think
you
she's 60-something
there's
right
a
now.
phonograph
so
going.
she's closer to 70?
Would you fuck B.
Look
Arthur?
at this.
So you're into grandma porn.
I'm not into grandma porn,
I mean...
but
I'd throw down.
But
I guess I'd smash.
I felt my dick
I'd
move a
smash
little.
Too.
Yeah, sure.
You're justified. You're
I'd throw
justified.
down for
Yeah,
sure.
my worm wiggled a bit, so yeah, why not?
You know, I got chubs.
Is that the only 60-year-old? Wait, is it constant? Have you got like a whole spank bank at 60-year-old women?
Oh, I have a spank bank at I do, but it's not 60-year-old women, like Catherine Zeta-Jones.
You said it like you have a burner
Eva
computer.
Green. So I mean, a lot of these,
Betty
a lot of these chicks
Simon.
are younger than 60 for sure.
Simon, you said it like you have a fucking burner computer and a bucket of water
No,
next to
I
it. So when the
don't. I
FBI
don't.
comes knocking, you just dump it in the bucket of water. Ah, can't get me now.
I got my chick folder.
Don't act like there's just one Simon. Come on, you know that it's.
There's a ton, but they're not all. They're not
got
all
them alphabetically
They're not all
organized.
50. They're not all 50 years old or above.
Like there's one folder
There's
for
a good
50-year-olds.
chunk of them.
Natalie Portman's in there, I'm sure.
One folder
like,
for
let me-
50-year-olds, another
who
one's for
else?
60-year-olds, one's
Yeah.
for 40-year-olds,
70-year-olds, geriatrics,
45-year-olds.
Oh shit! Who else?
octogenarians. You
trying
know.
to think. I'm putting the spot here, so I can't.
Well, let's talk about your weirdest porn experience.
All
I
right.
really want to hear more about that.
It's very important to the show, Simon. You want
All
this to
right,
be a
all
good
right.
episode, right?
I told you we were saving some good shit for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Think long and hard in your long masturbation history. What is the weirdest fap you've had?
I think the weirdest one for me was like some piss porn thing. Like I just saw a girl getting her pissed like in her mouth, and it was like I've seen a bunch of that, but there was only one that was jerkable. I was like, this is somehow not disgusting because it was
That's
clear
kind
piss.
of
All right, I'll
that's
jack
kind of
off.
like borderline squirting, right? So that's not too bad.
Yeah, but it's a dude pissing in a girl's mouth.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but it's
okay,
actual
that's
piss.
completely different.
Yeah, but it was weird because the dick was soft, and I was like, is it okay to jerk off to a soft dick? Is that okay? Like I don't know.
floppy?
Hey, brain, is it? I mean, she's hot, right? She's getting pissed on, but the dick's soft. I don't understand. Am I supposed to be soft and jerk off soft? So that might have been my
Well, if his
weirdest
dick was
experience.
hard, he couldn't like aim it down.
Yeah,
so
one of those
well.
piss boners. He's got to like put two hands on it. He's got.
What
one of
if
those
he
big
was
dick
on
ones,
some
dude.
kind? What if he was hard, but he was on some kind of device that tilted him so that he could piss the way he wanted to?
Yeah. Now I have to pretend like I
on
don't have
this
this
nice
book.
young
with me.
lady.
He's got to do
That's
like
complex.
a handstand to angle it.
Some kind. She's got him hanging from the ceiling.
He's putting his feet. We have a attic wall, like one of those triangular houses. So he's got his feet up on the attic wall. I'm just imagining this is Rachel and Patrick, and like Pat, when you and Rachel are filming piss porn in your attic, what is your handstand piss position that you like to assume when you have full boner and you got to piss in Rachel's mouth?
That is an excellent question, and let me tell you how it goes.
Let's wait for.
First, he shoves butter up his ass.
First, I get a whole bar of butter, and I shove it right up my ass.
Do you have Sean put it in there for you?
No, I do it myself.
Do you let the dogs get involved?
I'm not here when they
perfect
smash,
squat.
actually.
Get the perfect squat so there's no messy cleanup afterwards.
Well, when me and Chelsea are filming piss porn, we like to do it out on the roof of a hotel, somewhere dangerous, you know. And
well, I guess how Rachel and I would do it if we did do that. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Who knows? So let me tell you how elaborate it gets. So she leans down and she opens her mouth up like, you know, like she's like a bird accepting food from her mama. And then I do a handstand and put my feet up against the ceiling here. And since I'll be like half chub, you know, I'm not gonna point down.
Solid
so
quarter chub.
It will just automatically go in there, and then she'll be blindfolded, and I'll just do my best.
Wait, how does she know where to lay? Is she laying or like sitting?
I'm using one hand to hold myself up, and the other hand I'm trying to like direct her, like, all right, here, where's your mouth?
Did you guys do any of this while you were at the gorge at the Red River Gorge
all
this
the time.
weekend? Okay, well, tell me some.
On the pool table and everything.
Yeah.
Tell us some crazy stories from the gorge. This
Oh my
weekend,
God,
boys.
we can go deep on this, can't we, Simon? So Simon and I recently went to the Red River Gorge, which, if you're not familiar with, is a small. It's not a small. It's a large-ass national park that's over in Kentucky, and there's like cliffs and giant rock
Natural
formation.
bridges and all sorts of shit.
Some wild shit.
And it was just you and Simon in a tent, all alone, 2 men at the gorge.
It was more like we were just in our car, my car specifically, my tiny Civic, and we slept in the back seat together.
Did you eat?
And windows up the whole time. So
it got steamy.
It got real.
Were you guys eating 10 8-pound chickens? Well,
yeah, we were eating.
You were locked in the hot
8-pound chickens for lunch before we went on the trails.
Only.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to derail it. Keep talking about the fucking experience.
Well, no, we went with our girlfriends and we went with a couple other friends as well. But basically, Simon here is a fucking insane person. So there's a lot of cliff and hazardous areas where there's instant death. Basically, you are going to die. 40 people a year. Am I right, Simon?
Yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah. He called me Snopes the whole time. But
I think it's up to one person a year right now.
I don't know. It's
Maybe.
ridiculous. You could have been that person. So basically, in like our back of our cabin, there was like this drop off of a cliff, and it says fall hazard right there with like a stick person falling to their death.
That's true.
And I'll pull it up right now. But basically, he would just go off the edge and just start dangling off of it. And watch him, let me film him, and I'm just going like sweating my balls off.
So you're just tempting death the entire fucking time that you were
Within
out
the first couple hours we were there, yeah.
All right, so he's got a picture, and this dude's dangling off of the tiniest little tree limb that I've ever seen. I don't even know how it's supporting his fucking body weight.
It was bending over halfway, yeah.
My dude, what are you doing? Are you trying to cripple yourself?
It wasn't that bad. It's not as bad as it looks.
Were you drinking a whole handle of Tito's as well?
It just about, yeah.
You were for real tempting death. You were going to be one of those.
No.
That's not even the worst part, dude.
It's
so we went to
exaggerated.
these. No, here's something that's going to fucking blow your mind. All right, I got some pictures that I screenshotted because he's a madman. So we were on these high cliffs, and like this is where people actually do die. And him and his girlfriend decide to start hanging off the fucking ledge of the whole thing
Just by
on
your
a dead ass tree. And there's a 500-foot drop.
It wasn't
minimum.
a dead tree.
Oh,
it was not a dead tree.
That looks like a dead tree, sir.
Yeah.
Do you see any leaves on that tree?
Scroll up and you'll see the leaves.
Hold on, I saved more. Look at this fucking insane person.
We tested the branches. Before we hung.
With what? Did you put
our body weight?
The dead bodies we brought, of course, Cody. Duh. We put them in our knapsacks. We hung the dead bodies there for 15 minutes.
We drug them right up the mountain.
We laughed at them.
No, I mean, it was just... No, seriously, it was one hell of a drop. It was instant death, seriously, as you fall down there. And it's going to take hours before they find your body. Your mangled corpse where your fingers are rotted down from the bone while you try to grasp the side of the fucking rocks, going down, and your face is all degloved because your face is trying to hug the wall because you don't want to fall to your death.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fucking nasty,
that does happen.
horrible thing. And then people are going to have to recognize your body. It's horrible. Did you think about this, Simon?
I briefly.
Like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I was sitting there trying to take their photo, and I'm like sweating my ass off as he's dangling off this thing. He's a madman. But the cool shit that we got to experience down there is we went kayaking through these abandoned mines. Now, this was some cool shit because they filmed some movies at these places. I don't know if you... Fist porn? Is that what you said?
Sorry.
Fisting? No.
Piss porn.
Batman porn.
Okay.
Bat people porn. Not like Batman the Dark Knight, but like people that are shaped like bats and they rape people. It's horrible.
I have a Batman story now that I think about this, but keep going.
Yes. So they filmed 2 movies down there. It's Surviving the Wild and Sinkhole. One of them has John Voight in them. But we go in there and it's...
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine
Zeta-Jones.
Is she another 50-year-old lady you like to whack it to?
Fuck yeah.
She is
yeah,
50,
dog.
isn't she?
Probably.
Simon
hot
said-
as fuck.
She was hot in Zorro.
Fuck yeah. Entrapment. Sean Connery. Hell yeah.
Would you bang Sean Connery?
Maybe.
With a whole stick of
But
butter
I
in
would-
your ass?
I would definitely
Is he wearing a
do
wig?
Sean Connery and
Is he
Catherine
hot?
Zeta-Jones.
Right.
For sure.
So, Simon, go into depth of explain the caverns a little bit in this area.
It was pretty sick, actually. They were completely broken up, so obviously it's a mine, right? So they can't have everything like collapse in on you. So it was a bunch of basically big pillars all separated out, and
Hundreds of them.
yes,
Hundreds.
It was massive. It was massive. Probably like a mile wide by like a mile deep, maybe. And we were kayaking through it all, and it was it was insane. I've never been in a place like that before. So we were kayaking through, and it was pretty freaky too, because you'd light up your little area that you're in, right? But it wouldn't light up everything, because there would be a pillar that you'd be next to, and then like around the corner of it would just be complete pitch blackness. So you'd be going through, and you'd never know what would be around the corner. That was pretty freaky.
It was really freaky. I felt like, you ever seen Lord of the Rings, the first one, and the Watcher that's in the
Moria.
water?
Nope. Or Moria.
In the mines of
Yeah.
Moria?
I
It
felt like
the
I was...
Mines of Moria. Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
It definitely...
Yes.
Must go
Mines of Morior.
under the mountain.
Moria.
Yeah.
Is it Moria?
Moria.
It
I
is
feel like
Moria.
it's Moria.
You're very wrong.
All right, whatever.
It's Moria.
Don't ever fuck that up again, Cody.
All right, you fucking nerds, continue it.
So we were like in the mines of Moria, and like the Watcher, which was that big squid thing that they were saying, don't disturb the water before they got into Moria, if you remember that. Well, I felt like one of those things was going to grab me in the water because it is dark, dude. So we'd be going, like, they always had to cling to the right side of the actual cavern there, because if you got lost, that's the only way you can find your way out. Is
Yep.
by going along the edge. They have these big ass pillars in the middle there, and it's like 30 degrees cooler in there. It is freezing.
You would freeze to death.
You would freeze to death. So the crazy shit is, like, when we go in there, like, the cavern ceiling is probably like 30, 40 feet above us when you first go in, but the water gets so deep that you're kind of like having to tilt your head down a little bit in some parts.
Yeah, as you get deeper and deeper in.
Yeah, and it's you can touch the ceiling almost, and there was fool's gold, like things that looked just like gold and silver there on the walls that were just sparkling like crazy.
What were the critters like?
Well, I saw a couple bats. We did not. There's no fish in the water.
There
though.
were some dead animals in there.
Yeah. The thing about
really? What
Did it
kind of
smell
animals?
horrible?
A dead raccoon, a dead bats.
Yeah. But they don't deteriorate when they're in there.
everything's preserved in there because it's so fucking cold.
Oh wow, that's really gross.
Yeah.
So they just kind of flatten and just stick
Yep,
on the wall
stick
like a
to the
cave
wall.
painting.
Yep.
It is pretty interesting. Like, just imagine a pave cake on the road.
That's fucking gross.
You know, just up against. It is fucking gross. But we did see a couple of bats in there. They go in there and they look like little brown golf balls with like little stick arms. It's really strange. They're very interesting. But yeah, they turned off all the lights at the end of it. And it was very
Not even
eerie.
at the end of it. We were the furthest in we could get.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was as dark as it could get in there, and we turned off the lights. And we experienced what it would be like to be in a cave in pitch blackness and not know where the fuck you are and not know your way out. It was creepy.
It is
God
creepy.
Damn, that's unnerving.
Yeah.
Can
You
you,
can't
imagine
even
just,
see your
just
hand.
winding up there with no memory? Just what do
no,
I do?
you'd be fucked.
Well, here's
Yeah.
a story.
You're fucked.
Here's a story that we did learn, because there was a lot of old mining equipment in there, and so people would go in there and try to steal the copper and whatnot. It's a very open place and pretty damn easy to break into if you really wanted. If you want to get in there, you can get in there, no problem.
Let's do it.
It's fucking
Podcast in
scary
the
as
cave.
shit.
New
bro.
podcast trip.
Get a couple feet
Let's
of
go
copper
steal
wire
podcast.
for your time.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
dude,
for our podcast. You never know when you might need a few feet of copper for your podcast.
to tell you how deep this place is and how scary it is, like they'd have these industrial flashlights that would shine like all the way down. You could see hundreds of feet with this thing and just look all the way down and be perfectly visible. They would shine it down, like we'd be going through these pillars, and then they shine the light through the middle there, and it's endless, just black at the end. It's like something, it looks infinite darkness at the end, and it's so fucking freaky. It's like, I hated being on the outside of the circle when we were going. So these guys would go in here and try to steal the copper, and what they did was they take this inflatable raft, and there was an inflatable raft that was popped in the middle of this place.
They got fucking stuck.
So they got stuck in there. So they only had one choice, and that was to swim out. So he had to swim out in total darkness in this cave with this water that's probably 30, 40 degrees.
Yep.
And in the pitch black. And if you're in that blackness for too long, you'll go permanently blind.
I mean, you have to be in there for like years, but yeah.
I think it's like a couple days. It's a couple days that can cause
longer than a couple.
There's
days,
no
but-
way they're gonna be able to swim that long.
He's got out because apparently
He did get out,
Yeah,
yeah,
he did get out
yeah.
because they said that the owner of the place happened to be at a bar later on, like throughout the week or
How
something.
long did it take him to get out?
I have no idea.
Later on in the week.
Well, anyways,
on
he was at a bar
yeah.
later on in the week,
And then he heard some guy saying, "Yeah, my raft popped, and I had to swim to shore, and it was just in a cave, and it was just very obvious." But he can't.
It's probably like one afternoon or something.
Yeah.
Dude, that's some sort of teen horror movie in the making right
that's
there.
scary as fuck. Fuck
Dude.
being in that fucking freezing water, getting hypothermia, and like trying
Yep.
to swim the fuck out of there.
I'd be
Sure
the
as fuck
one
would.
Or it's a
friend
ghost
just-
story the locals tell the tourists.
No, the guy lived. He didn't die.
It makes me think
And
of
the raft was still in there.
Arkham Asylum, where Gator,
Yeah.
Killer Croc, was like running around. It made me think about being in there. Like it felt claustrophobic and a little freaky at times, and the walls were so fragile if you touched them too. It was very interesting.
Yeah, we were using our paddles and knocking rocks off the walls, limestone pieces of rock
Oh shit.
that were. There were places where you could probably have knocked off like hundreds of pounds of rock just because they were just barely attached to the walls, the
Yeah.
sides of the walls. So you're in a kayak, right, and you're sliding past them, and you just touch the rock and it falls down, caves in on you.
You guys
It
weren't
was like
pounding
that.
the walls with your oars or anything, were you?
I mean, we weren't like smashing them, but I occasionally like took a hit and knocked some stuff into the water.
I remember it was
And
the
then the
only
whole cave collapses.
yeah, the whole place starts shaking, the
Hanging
ceiling's
off of
collapsing.
mountaintops. And
People are dying
trying to
around.
It's like a
Classic
fucking
play.
Tomb Raider video game getting out of there.
God damn.
You
But-
know what caverns I want to fucking explore?
What's that?
Your mom.
There's the ones in France, the labyrinth of the
Like the
dead.
catacombs?
Yeah, the catacombs.
Yeah.
You're talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
below. You're talking about the whole underground system
With
there, right?
all of like the skulls and the skeletons.
I didn't know that existed until I
That's
saw
real.
yeah,
That's
it's
cool
fucking
that.
crazy.
I didn't know
Deus
it existed
Ex.
until I saw
Deus
that
Ex.
really cheap.
As
fucking-
above, so
yeah,
below.
Yeah, and I was like, "What? This is real? I need to go there."
Yeah, they have a lot of movies based off of it. It is definitely freaky.
It's massive.
It's amazing.
It's massive.
It's incredible that humans even made that in the first
Yes,
place.
it is.
Not to mention that enough people died to be able to supply the material to make it in the first place.
I believe
It's
that a lot of
insane.
people died.
The catacombs of France is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of people did. They have a bunch of punk kids that go down there and fucking hang out, goth kids and shit,
I don't
lighting
blame 'em.
candles and playing
Shoot
with the
their
bones.
music video there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of fucking like crazy amounts of
Yeah, I mean,
disrespectful shit that
during the
goes on with these
Napoleonic
dead
era.
bodies from generations ago.
There's a documentary I was just watching on YouTube a couple days ago that was talking about there is over 300 people living underneath the Las Vegas streets in the underground tunnels, and they live there for 2-3 years at a time. What's up?
Did you ever see the documentary that they put out about the people living below the streets of Los Angeles? Like the fucking... There's a crazy one that they filmed in the early 2000s. It's underneath this old dead subway tunnel or that they never ended up using. It might be New York. I might be fucking wrong. It might be whatever. But the point is they would like climb underneath these fucking sewers and just like live down there, spear rats and shit and like eat it. They had cardboard fucking houses that they built from like, there would be like wood down there from like old train tracks and shit, and then they would fucking construct these shitty little houses where they would just shoot heroin and fucking steal each other's shit, and like they've got traps for each other, like bear traps and shit, like all kinds of like fucked up, crazy shit.
Wow.
Like they've got dogs living down there with them and shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like the mutant city in Futurama.
It's a
sounds
lot like
exactly
that.
like
It is
that.
that.
It's like that, yeah.
It is that. There's a few of these
It's
things
like
that you're talking
It's
about.
like
Pat.
fucking Metro.
That sounds pretty cool though. That they're leaving traps for one another. That's like Rust.
Yeah. Well, like some of these people, like they'll have like car batteries down there, and that's like they'll have like cell phones, and they just live down there, and they'll make ramen off hot plates, and they just sit in there, and they have things raised, like all their valuables raised up on like milk cartons and stuff, because the water rises in those tunnels.
Yep.
And it's probably a lot like that It's Always Sunny episode where they had to like take off all their clothes and lift it above the fucking shit water so they have dry clothes to get on. You know, it definitely, it's just crazy. Some sewers go deep as fuck. I went ghost hunting in a sewer once with Micah from the band Soft Spoken. He'll be on in about a week or two. I think next week, actually, right?
Yeah, he'll actually be here next week, but the episode won't drop for
like 2 more weeks.
When you guys hear this, 2 more weeks, and then you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah, it'll be out. It'll be a good time. We'll talk about our ghost hunting days and.
I was
Jackass.
almost went with you guys that night. I was over at your house, and then I had work the next day.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
that's
I can't
right.
fucking make it. You went with Brent and Micah and Cece, right? And Abby.
Yeah.
And you guys went up to that fucking abandoned, like it used to be like
A
the
KKK ranch.
KKK used to run that ranch somewhere in fucking Indiana, and like, yeah, tell that fucking.
Yeah,
story.
I got a couple. So we went on a late night ghost adventure. And we went for about 4 hours in the middle of the night. So we were out till like 5 in the morning. So the first place we went to was this. It was a sewer. I forgot what the hell it's called, but we had our flashlights on our heads, and we had the red lights on. Now the
Devil's Cavern.
The red. It was something like that. It was like the devil's dick hole, or something like that.
The devil's buttered anus.
Yeah. It was the Shrek's hole, for all we know. So we had our red lights on because only we could see that. Other people can't see the red lights when you have those on, which is kind of interesting. So we went down in the sewer, and we're going like 30 feet deep, and it's very clean in there. Saw nothing the whole time, but we were climbing like the ladders inside there. I felt like a real Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Nasty as fuck. You know what? I bet those guys stunk. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They lived in a fucking sewer.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, they did.
They bet they fucking stunk, dude. And they ate pizza all day.
They lived with an old dirty rat that taught them
Yeah.
karate tricks.
I bet like fucking ninja saw him coming all the time. Shredder was like, "Oh, some stinks. I wonder who's fucking around." I can
Peers in a
smell
half
ya."
shell.
Yeah, what the fuck. So another place we went to was this abandoned KKK ranch, and it was so fucking strange how we got there. We drove like 40 minutes into Indiana. I don't even know where the fuck it was. I kind of fell asleep halfway through. We get there, and they drive. He's a fucking madman with his car. He doesn't give a shit. Micah drives through this creek with all the rocky bed and shit on it to get across it. Like, I'm talking like a rocky-ass creek.
What kind of car?
It was like a Mazda or something. It was low end.
Low rider.
He bottomed out several times going in there.
Wow.
It was dumb as fuck. Water was running and shit. And he goes up into this tunnel, and this tunnel is like 30, 40 feet. And we sit there, and we turn off the car, and we're in complete silence, and it's total darkness.
And then you guys made out.
And then we had a gay orgy.
What did his lips taste like, Pat?
Like ash. I'm just kidding.
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes and embalming fluid, mostly.
Something horrible.
Embalming
But it was
fluid.
so quiet, and we just sat there in complete silence. And then Micah starts screaming, "Ah!" He didn't see anything, but he says he did. But it freaked us out, and we just wanted to leave, so we left. It's not that crazy of an ending, but it was very eerie, and it was really weird driving through a creek to get to the place. Anyways, I'm excited to hear that story from him. Simon, have you ever had any supernatural or strange experiences, or do you even believe in such?
Sorry to disappoint. I don't want to be the buzzkill, but I don't believe in that kind of shit.
Yeah, I think it's all goofy nonsense as well.
Same.
I've had quote unquote weird experiences, but nothing that can't be explained by like anxiety or your mind being fucking playing tricks on you, or like me just being young and stupid and like gullible and a bunch of people fucking with
Completely
me.
One time I did see something,
All right, tell me about it.
but it was like when I woke up out of a dream,
Okay.
and I sat up and I saw like a soldier at the end of my bed, and I thought
saw
about
what?
it later. A soldier. And I
Soldier?
thought about it later, and I was just like,
Like
I
a
just
Roman
wa-
soldier?
no, just like an American like soldier with like the
But
like
you
the
just woke up
full
from a
metal
dream.
jacket. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting to. Is I dismissed it immediately because I had just woken up, and it's possible I was still like kind of dreaming awake or something.
But it felt so real that it came across as a memory,
it was
right?
like No, like I like saw it, but I just immediately dismissed it and didn't think much of it. But it was pretty trippy to like hallucinate or whatever that was.
Right, and it's got to be a scary feeling. It feels like a ghost when you're in that moment, but it's nothing that can't be explained by your mind fucking with you. Like, or you're just...
It's like when you see a shadow or something, you think you like saw something that was actually just a shadow.
Yeah, I wouldn't discount what you saw at all, but I've kind of been in a similar situation where I woke up in the middle of the night and used to sleep upstairs where I currently am at, and had clothes hanging on a hanger on a door just outside of my room, and woke up. I probably had just had a fucking nightmare or something like that, and saw the silhouette of a guy standing in the doorway, and then it kind of suddenly connected with, in my brain that, wait, you just woke up, you just had a nightmare, that's standing in your doorway, it's a guy, and then the connection was made that, wait, you have your suit hanging, you just had an interview a couple days before, you got your suit hanging in the doorway, it's your suit. Right. And so as soon as I made that connection, I saw it and realized, yeah, it's my suit. It's just sitting there in the doorway. I thought it was the silhouette of a guy, and I was like, I could immediately see how that would have been, could have been seen by anybody as, a guy, a ghost, some sort of figure, some sort of ghostly figure standing there in my, in my upstairs, just waiting for me or whatever. But I made that connection. I tuned out, went back to bed, woke up the next day. Yep, there's my suit hanging there in the doorway. And it made that connection with me that you kind of pay attention to what's going on around you, and what might be a possibility of like a supernatural event could have a real explanation behind it.
A lot of the reason that we start to feel this way, that I've read this, I'm not a fucking doctor or scientist, and I've done no research, there's all my caveats before I make my explanation, but is because we used to, like, when we were living in the fucking woods and shit, like in like caveman times, when our primordial DNA, our brains are still wired the same way. So our brains are trained to focus on threats at all times and to constantly be aware of what's going on in your peripherals.
That's where our anxieties come from.
Exactly, 100%. I was getting to that as well. It's all like interconnected, fear and anxiety and kids being afraid of monsters under the bed. It all goes back to running away from tigers and cheetahs and shit like that.
Yep.
And it's fucking, it's
and
interesting.
It's what's kept us alive.
It's interesting that when you become aware of it, that then you can kind of like, it's hard to not be able to just pick apart every instance of it being like bullshit. Like, when does it ever seem real? Has there ever been proof of it being real ever? It's all just this fucking, it's always just a story. There's never fucking hard evidence of this. And you would think with 7 billion fucking people constantly filming everything on their devices that they can record media on, there would be something, there would be a fucking dish floating in the air that wasn't obviously fishing string, Luke.
I'm going to look up what it is, but I just recently heard on a podcast that there was a case that was, it was the first ever to actually be written down as a supernatural event.
Like a paranormal event that actually happened?
Yes,
that, like,
yes.
that science... I'm sorry,
yeah,
he was just saying...
I'm going to go into looking that up.
Yes, please do.
Luke, will you pull the mic up a little bit closer this way? That's the only thing, is if you talk onto the top of it like you're doing instead of here, it'll be better audio. I think that's all he was saying.
My mouth is...
Alright, it'll be alright.
Like,
okay.
spot
it's
on,
all good, brother.
It's
just,
cool. It was a little muffled. It's good.
But while you're looking that up, I guess we'll ramble about something else.
Yeah. So, Simon, would you say that souls are real?
I have not seen any evidence to support that. That's what I would say.
So, let's say souls are real. Do you think they would look just like we would as we died?
I have not seen any evidence to support that.
So if they look just like us, would you think that like a fat person would be a fat ghost?
Do you think they would have prominent ghost genitalia? Or would it be like blurred out? Or would it be blurred out or flattened? And do ghosts need belly buttons?
Ghosts that have like breast implants, do they have the implants?
Right. Luke, can you look all this up as well?
You got plastic surgery.
No, 'cause I'm not listening at all.
So what do you think about that?
We were talking about prominent ghost genitalia.
Is this a serious question?
Yeah, it's a serious
Of course
question.
it is. This is the Bastard Sermon.
all
We're
right.
basically the new Fox News.
All right. Oh boy.
This is Dan
So
Rather.
that's a
20
really
questions.
high. That's a really high mark there.
Or CSNBC. Or
Okay.
So, fat ghosts, real or fake? Simon's verdict.
So my verdict, just based on experience and what scientifically I've known to be found to be true and not found to be true, no. I've seen
No
no
fat
evidence.
ghosts.
If I ever
No prominent
I would
ghost
be the,
genitalia.
Okay, let me say this. I would be the first person to support evidence for some sort of supernatural experience or event if there was ever any real evidence for it. All you ever see is, or hear, is people's little dispositions of it.
Their campfire stories.
Their own experience that cannot ever be replicated under scientific observation, under scientific experimentation and repetition. Nothing can ever be replicated. So any true scientist would ever tell you that scientific events can be duplicated in experimentation, right? So if you have a claim, it is the burden of proof is upon you, right? If you have a claim, the burden of proof is upon you to provide the evidence for that. Otherwise, anybody could claim absolutely anything.
People
Fat
already do.
ghosts.
They just nobody fact checks any unsubstantiated claims. Luke just found the thing that he said that is actually proven. Let's get into that.
Yes,
Also,
please.
I'm not saying I'm supporting it by any means. I'm totally with you.
He's just saying he saw it.
110%.
Yes,
This
okay,
is something
let's hear
interesting
it.
that I
Let's
had
hear
seen.
it.
It was based off of the Veronica movie.
Never saw it.
on Netflix. It was a horror film. It was entirely
Spanish.
in Spanish. Yeah.
Okay.
You had to read it all in subtitles, and it was based on a true story. And it's the first ever police report marked as unexplained.
But where did it happen?
It happened in
And can I interject?
yeah, go for it.
So the first
Madrid.
ever police report to be unexplained, is that where's the evidence behind that?
According to the Sun, if
okay.
they are a reliable.
I mean,
source
I would
of
look into
news.
that too. That just saying. But all right, let's continue.
It revolves around this girl named Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro.
Lasagna.
That's what I heard. I'm hungry.
Mexi Melt Taco Bell. All right.
Dude,
you
I
say
think
her
about
name?
I think about lasagna a lot.
Can you
I'm
say her
sorry.
name, but change her last name to Lasagna?
It
Well,
sounds
I mean, she
spookier.
died, so I guess I'll disrespect her like that. Estefania Gutierrez Lasagna.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe that really got you that kick.
I'm a sick fuck.
Who
dude.
died suddenly in August of 1991?
Hold on, Luke. Were you just taking the moral high ground? You were just laughing at Pat getting uncontrollably knocked out on Jake's episode the other time that I listened. Like him just getting beaten ahead and falling on the ground.
That's
You were
all
like,
hypothetical pain. This is a dead woman.
it wasn't hypothetical. Pat got bashed in the
I
head
got
and
fucking-
lost brain cells. Have you ever heard Pat try to read our advertisements? I love you, buddy. But
You
have
ever heard me
listened-
talk?
Just kidding, Pat. Keep going, Luke.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, I'll try.
But say your
in-
last name is Lasagna.
Okay, I'll try again. In August of 1991, with her parents convinced it had something to do with her interest in a Ouija board. It said her boyfriend died in some motorcycle, and that there was a Ouija board seance going on, but it was interrupted by a teacher.
Must have been Satan. All right, keep going.
Estefania's claimed that they all saw a strange swirling smoke enter her nose and mouth. She began having seizures and hallucinations
Who's
just
they all?
days later. They all, well, she had 3 siblings. I think it was like one brother and 2 sisters.
Siblings,
and she had
okay.
her parents.
Validated sources, of
Her
course.
parents.
There was a priest there,
All right.
a doctor, a neurosurgeon.
Yep.
There was
Dr.
Of course,
Lasagna.
Albert Einstein.
Family are not biased. Okay, all right.
Mr. Lasagna was there. Mrs. Lasagna.
No, Mr.
The Ouija
Fettuccine.
board was there to take
Mr.
notes.
Fettuccine.
There was an astronaut and
Yeah.
No doctors could find anything wrong with her, and no diagnosis could ever be given. Meanwhile, Estefania's health deteriorated, and her seizures and hallucinations intensified until she ultimately passed away. She said, "Oh, okay." The parents claimed, "Oh my God,
What the
Patrick,
fuck's so funny?
I don't."
Just the last name Lasagna, dude.
I knew that's what he was laughing about.
That's not her real name, though.
Pat's laughing like he really. Like
That's not her name. It'd be funny if it was.
But it's not.
I know, but what if, guys? What
I need to
if?
stop drinking.
Pat got drunk. All right, keep it going, Luke.
God.
Drinking them
shit.
spiked Arnold Palmers.
They're delicious.
The parents claimed that over subsequent months, odors in the house would slam off their own accord. Shadowy figures would be spotted lurking, and with no explanation whatsoever, a photo of their daughter bursts into flames. But worse was still to come. Oh, I didn't know there was worse.
They shoot her with a flamethrower and they're trying to cover up the evidence. The whole town's lying on them.
Everything culminated on one horrific night in '92, over a year after her death, when her mother felt a presence on top of me, but there was no one around.
You think it could have been
No
all that
one around to
lasagna?
validate it. Oh, shit. Okay.
I then felt a pair of hands grab my feet and then grab my hand. They phoned the police, and then in a 2012 documentary, police inspector Jose Pedro Negri revealed just how terrifying things were.
Did they check her handprints for tomato sauce and ricotta cheese?
What if the ghost just dumps lasagna on it in the middle of the night?
All right, Pat's drunk, so this is our first break.
She's Spanish,
That's some funny
Italian.
shit.
We'll be back after this, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we're back. I just want to say that story was horseshit, and that's why we were shitting on Mr. and Mrs. Lasagna. All right. Every time I say lasagna, Pat's gonna lose his fucking marbles laughing.
It's fucking funny. I'm sure some people will enjoy that. So, Simon, how do you feel about the Loch Ness Monster?
I've never seen any real evidence for it.
Simon said he would debunk every single science thing we throw at him. So
I am neither for or against such
No, that's not
claims.
science. That's the problem.
It's just
That's not
nonsense.
science.
Science is fact.
Folklore
There's no
bullshit.
opinion.
What
to
about-
No, that's not true either.
spit some knowledge there, Simon.
Let's
Okay.
hear it.
Do you
So-
believe in dragons?
No, because there's.
Do you believe in
Show
magic?
me the evidence.
What about Excalibur?
All you have to do is say, show me the evidence. Because anybody that has a claim, right? Anybody that has a claim for any event, any supernatural experience, whether an out-of-body experience, a sighting of a ghost,
A fat ghost?
a fat ghost or a skinny ghost, doesn't fucking matter, Patrick.
Prominent genitalia?
What?
I'm sorry, continue.
Ghost with prominent genitalia.
Prominent genitalia ghost.
Okay, seriously, just to bring this around to a serious point, I mean, since they do have proof of this one, what about El Chupacabra, dog?
Yeah, the goat.
Hold on. They have
Show me.
proof?
I've seen pictures.
Show me
I've
the
seen it.
evidence. Can it be replicated?
What do you mean?
Can it be replicated by other people that are experimenting and looking in the same areas? Can they find the same evidence? So when you really start to look into all these kind of events, all these kind of things, you typically find that it's a one-time thing, which means it's usually fake. It's usually like photoshopped.
Do you think that
there's no way to replicate the same experience with somebody else under supervised experimental conditions?
What if it's just a super rare creature in the ocean, for example, like a giant squid, and they just happen to catch anything?
So where was it? Like if it's the Loch Ness
The ocean?
monster, if it's the Loch Ness monster, for instance, I think usually that's found in a certain area, right? So there
Good
should
old
be
Nessie.
a shit ton of
Lake
people
Ness.
looking for the Loch Ness monster. I would want to look for it if I had the money. If I had the money and I had the time, I'd want to go looking for it.
Do you think?
Right?
Do you think Leo
So-
Pleurodons still exist?
No.
Do you think it's plausible that
I'm
God
sorry.
damn it, Patrick.
I'm sorry to be a buzz killer. But
Simon, do you think that it would be plausible if 4 turtles fell into toxic waste?
I think I know where this is going.
There's a big freaky rat.
Yeah, and they had a rat
teach 'em
master.
cooking.
They had a rat master
But
that like knew
luckily-
jujitsu and like.
They probably stink.
Yeah, they stink. Yeah, and they
I'm
love
just saying, do you-
pizza. They
You
love
think
pizza,
it's
right?
plausible. Okay.
Okay.
Obviously not.
What are the chances of that happening?
All I would say is show me the evidence. Show me something that can be replicated by other people.
Dog, there's that whole documentary series that we watched all as kids. You remember?
What?
They were fighting crime
What?
in the streets of New York. You remember the
Bunch of
documentary?
teenagers.
Yeah, teenagers, something. There was turtles involved, and
That reporter, April O'Neil, covered it.
yeah, dog. You don't
It's
remember
like
April
Channel
O'Neil?
5 News.
That yellow ass, bright ass, fucking Curious George suit. You don't remember that?
A
shit?
man with a hockey mask beating people to death.
Show me the fucking evidence.
Bro, I've got
All right?
years
All
of
right?
evidence. You don't
So
remember that little freaky brain guy?
otherwise, anything could be true, right? Bertrand Russell came up with, I think it's called the teapot analogy. So I could tell you that there's a teapot in orbit between Earth and Mars, right? Okay, and we don't have a telescope yet that is powerful enough to see that teapot. It's so fucking small. Okay,
Unless we had the
it's a
Infinity
teapot.
Gauntlet.
It's a foot wide at most, right? So we don't have a telescope that can see that far away, right? It has to exist. Therefore, you must believe in it. That's the same. You can say that about anything. Anything supernatural. You can say that about a supernatural power, like a higher power, like God. You can say that about ghosts. As soon as you can start to show the evidence that can be validated and experimented upon and observed by other people in other locations around the globe, then you can start to think that possibly that may be true, right? No scientist will ever tell you that anything is absolute. That's why error bars exist.
Siths
On
only
any plots in any experimental study, error bars exist because there's always the possibility that anything there's the possibility for error, right? This isn't a joke. This is how science works. This is the difference between the scientific method and faith. And people that say words like belief, right?
I agree with you. I'm just trying to funny it up because it's feeling very.
I'm sorry. I'm too serious.
Very
I'm too
physical
serious about
right
it.
now.
I'm too passionate about
It's
it.
okay.
It's
fine.
I guess
fine
I'm the
with that.
only one that completely wants this.
I'm fine with it. I'm just. In case you think that I'm being a dick or anything, I'm just trying to funny it up. I'm not.
No. I get it. I get it because I think people. I think some people.
I do enjoy
I think some people need to get the light side of it because they see this as a rant, right?
No, this
it's
needs
fine.
to be
But I
heard.
think I agree. I completely agree. I think it does need to be heard, and I think it's the way we can see truth in the world, in our reality. Why do we need to make things up or see something or want to see something supernatural when I just saw a video recently of
He's about to
I'm
burst
getting
out of his
emotional.
chair. It's great. It's fucking great, dude. Don't apologize.
I saw a video recently of caterpillars, right, on YouTube. Just caterpillars. But caterpillars that look like fucking gummy worms and shit. Like, that I couldn't believe could be possibly real.
What'd they taste like, though?
But they're real. You read up on it, and you see it. They look fucking edible. They look fucking delicious.
But
I'm sure they're fucking poisonous.
Don't those colors in nature mean warning, danger, warning, danger?
Of course. But you see videos of stuff like that, and it turns out to be real. You see videos of places that you want to travel to and experience, like, places you want to snorkel, places you want to scuba dive into, like deep blue, snorkeling caves and shit like that in the Caribbean, and all this stuff exists. All this stuff is real, yet, and people think we don't. Our world doesn't have enough to explore, enough to be like. That's amazing. That's incredible to me. Why do we need to come up with anything extra that we can't actually see and observe and explain naturally?
Because these ideas are sexy and we're always looking for something fucking like really interesting, really fucking. The human brain's looking to do that all the time. That's why we build these.
And
crazy
I
completely
agree with you because I would be the first person. To believe and something extraordinary.
It makes life
But
better in some way to think that the
as
universe
long as there
is-
was actual evidence for it. If we all woke up tomorrow morning,
because you're a rational, reasonable human being. Most
I'm a
people
rationalist.
aren't.
I'm a
Most people aren't,
skeptic.
though.
I'm a skeptic. I'm a rationalist. If we all woke up tomorrow morning and Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro was floating above the earth and there was no reasonable or scientific explanation for it,
Fat Goose.
I would have to start, and everybody was observing the same thing. I would have to start fucking believing it. I would have to start fucking believing in fat fucking ghosts.
Thank you for...
Are you fucking serious, Patrick? Thank you for listening to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. Luke's going to give you a whole list of places where you can find and follow and listen to us while Patrick sits here in agonizing, crushing embarrassment.
You can follow the Bastard Sermon at Bastard Sermon on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram at the Bastard Sermon. If you want to listen to more episodes of the Bastard Sermon, we are on Stitcher, Player FM, Libsyn, iTunes, Castbox, and now recently we are on RockStarsGlued3.0.com. Check them out.
Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that shit.
But don't go to Twitter because we never update that shit because we don't give a fuck about Twitter.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Twitter.
Yeah.
As of now.
All
But
right.
that could change. At the Bastard Sermon. And if you really want to go to the Twitter and make that shit happen, it's at Bastard Sermon because some fuckhead took the from us. All right.
That cunt.
That does it. Anything else we need? Did you tell them we're on Spotify now?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Let's go. Bye.
See ya, bitches.